If athleisure was a radio show, this would be that radio show. Bo Bishop, a man of fine taste and Montana class.
My wife will try and drag me to like an Easter brunch buffet, and I don't even like that because I don't like everybody standing over food I'm going to eat.
Friends with the highest intellectuals.
We found out the hard way. We have white furniture. That's all I'll say.
What a mess.
Oh, God. Holy
Literally.
An athlete, coach, husband, and father.
That drives me nuts. My kids are, I'm him. Shut up. Kidding me? You're 9. You're not him. I don't even know what the hell that means.
And two guys who are considerable downgrades from a former football player. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Let's go live on a First Friday Miracle Edition of the program. Both the boys with you for the next 3. Reese is here. Tyvis Powell is here on the eve of Halloween. Oh, baby. Also, already some Hey Guys questionings coming in on the Halloween front. So get those to Reese, and we'll get those answered coming up at 11 o'clock. It is a Hey Guys First Friday. Still time to get your questions in there. A little bit of Shelly time at 11:33, some higher or lower at 10 o'clock, and also Jake Trotter joining us, as is customary, at 10:33. I wanted to start with you fellas on the subject of fandom, and specifically if one of the byproducts of me doing this job for as long as I have is a dwindling fandom. The baseball team of my youth is playing in the World Series, and they're up 3-0, and I haven't followed baseball as closely. In fact, followed Guardians more closely, obviously, than I followed the Dodgers. But as a kid, I was the kid who would cut the box scores out of the newspaper, compile them over the course of the year, and do the statistical analysis of the team. That's what I did as a kid. And I loved the Dodgers and the Lakers and the Bears because I lived in Montana. I wasn't going to any of these games anyway. So it was like, if you were good in the mid to late 80s when I was a kid and it was a formidable age for me, then those were my teams. I got lucky on the Dodgers and the Lakers, the Bears less so in terms of a rooting interest standpoint. But the game is on last night, and I had it on, and some of it was that it just felt inevitable that the Yankees would win, especially when a fan is trying to pull a ball out of Mookie Betts' glove. Feels like it's kind of inevitable at that point. I've never seen that before. But I did find myself going, God, you know what? I think I'd really just like to watch the next episode of The Offer. And I was talking to my wife about it, and I said, I think, and I've mentioned this before, and I think that it is true, that with the lone exception of Ohio State football games, which is interesting because it's the only one I didn't root for as a kid, with the exception of that, I am not the fan that I was. I am the observer. I watch a ton of it and consume boatloads of it. But in terms of my passion, I have noticed over the years of doing this that starts to dwindle. Now, not in those markets that those teams are playing in. I certainly find myself on a Sunday pulling for the Browns because I know so many people involved there, and my kids love them and all of that. I pull for Joe Burrow because we've known Joe for a very long time. But you guys are younger in the business, and I think your fandom is still very, very strong. I know yours is, T, with your Cleveland teams. Mm-hmm. Once you became a professional athlete, did you lose any of it, or did it remain?
No, it remained. You know what? You, my friend, are suffering from old age. That's what that tells me. Because
that's possible.
Because I am still a fanatic about all of Cleveland sports teams. I'm still a fanatic about Giannis and the Bucks. Even baseball, like even last night, just watching that game. I mean, I ain't got nobody in the fight. Nobody. The Guardians is out, and I'm still rooting against the Yankees. But it was still entertaining. I mean, you got the reason being is because you got two teams that are like blue blood baseball teams, They spent the most money, and this World Series has been exciting. Like they're hitting the ball. It's not like you're getting 1-0 games and stuff like that. You got Freddie Freeman hit a home run in every game. The Yankees fandom came out because they snapped. I can't believe they did Mookie like that.
I never seen that.
Never. And he fought it. He fought trying to keep the ball because he knew what was going on. But them Yankee fans is relentless.
You remember. Well, you probably don't. Reese, are you old enough to remember Jeffrey Mayer?
No.
At Yankee Stadium?
No.
So Jeffrey Mayer was a Yankee fan who stole a home run from the Orioles. And I want to say it was Roberto Alomar. He reached over and grabbed the ball. And saved a home, and it was the other way. He pulled it over,
So he reached out of the bleachers and grabbed it and pulled it out.
Pulled it out. Yeah, pulled it out of play. Pulled a Dodger home run, a Yankee home run to make it a home run, and they ended up having to make a rule about it. But, yeah, there was a whole thing about this. So that was the last time I've seen something like this. I know baseball put in rules to make sure that you couldn't do that and penalize properly, and I think the dude was thrown out.
Oh, the guy last night?
Yeah, he's gone. They bounced him. I'm sure he's banned. I mean, like, he's wrestling Mookie Betts' glove.
He got it out, too.
I feel like they'd make him mayor of New York for that.
They might.
He was relentless. Like, he didn't give up on it. Like, he literally fought this and opened his glove. The other guy helped him, and he snatched the ball out. I was like, man, they need to put that on the teach tape.
I was about to say, Tyvus, when it's a 50-50 ball, you're coached to go up and get it.
I'm telling you right now.
And do not let the other guy have a shot at it.
If I'm a DV coach, I'm a defensive coordinator. Look, put that on tape right there. Relentless. He did not give up. The play is never over until it's over.
Here's the incident I was referring to. So it's in 96 is when this happened. This is the American League Championship Series in 96. Jeter hit a deep fly ball to right field. Tony Tarasco moved near the right field fence and appeared to draw a bead on the ball when a then 12-year-old Jeffrey Mayer clearly reached over the fence, separating the stands and the field of play 9 feet below and snatched the ball with his glove.
A kid?
A kid. He was 12. Baseball fans are permitted to catch and keep balls hit in the stands. Major League Baseball rulebook states that spectators' interference is called if a spectator reaches out of the stands or goes onto the field of play and touches the ball. The umpire, Richie Garcia, immediately ruled the play a home run, tying the game at 4-4, despite the protests of Tarasco and Davey Johnson. Costas had this on the call. In right field, Tarasco going back to track to the wall. And what happened here? He contends that a fan reaches up and touched it, but Richie Garcia says, no, it's a home run. And there you go. The Yankees won in the 11th. On a Bernie Williams walk-off home run. So they've been down this road before.
I'll be upset. I ain't gonna lie to you. Wow. A kid saved him, huh?
Yeah. I think I want to make something abundantly clear. I still think that the best entertainment you can get in the world is professional sports or college sports or sports you care about. Mm-hmm. That's not something that's unique to me. That's all of us. You see it in the ratings, what's happening in college football. You mentioned how interesting you are in these baseball World Series. 15 million, 14 million for the first 2 games. Those are monster numbers for baseball. Baseball in the World Series is not used to in the last decade being like that. So all the boxes are being checked the way that you mentioned. I was reading a story by Jason Gay in the Wall Street Journal this morning, and it was about Aaron Rodgers. And the last line of it said something to the effect of, it is certainly a mess. I'm paraphrasing. It is certainly a mess, but it's sure fun to write about.
Yeah.
And that's what I found in doing this job, that I gravitate more towards the interesting. I observe all of it. I like the interesting stuff. Is there a rooting interest for our local teams? Of course. Rooting for the Crew last night. Sucks they lose to New York in the first game of the best of 3. I'll be rooting for the Cavs tonight when LeBron plays one of the teams of my youth, the Lakers.
And Bronny's going to be there.
Bronny's going to be there,
He's
which
playing.
is a pretty surreal moment for Bronny to.
You do know that when he's on the floor, Donovan or whoever is going to immediately. What Kobe used to do? They go, ISO, get out the way. I got this.
I got this.
So, Brian,
he's not playing tonight.
Yes, he is.
He'll be on the bench, but they lost to the Suns the other night.
He's playing, and I think
he's playing in Cleveland.
You got to remember. This is the last time. I think they're going to send him to the G League because they said once he gets done with this, I guess, road trip, he's going to the G League. So because it's the Cavs and he grew up with his dad on the Cavs, like it's a surreal moment. So they're going to let him play. And I'm just telling you right now. ISO.
Blood
Get
in
out
the
the
water,
way.
yeah.
Get out the way, everybody. I got this.
I don't know how many people know this, but when a part of the reason that LeBron wanted to go to the Lakers, I'm not saying it was the overwhelming reason he wanted to go to the Lakers, but part of the contributing factor of him going to the Lakers was him, and even more so Savannah, were worried about trying to raise their children in Akron, Cleveland area because of all of the people that would be hangers-on and all of the people who were not like them. Like, how could Bronny James go to St. Vincent, St. Mary? Like, what's that? They weren't even looking at that. They were looking at, like, and you know those Northeast Ohio, those boarding schools like Western Reserve,
I'm sitting there trying to think, could he have gone to St. Mary?
I don't think he could.
It would be a lot of publicity, and it's a lot of people that's just going to enroll. And It would
how
be
many
different. It'd be different.
socioeconomically, no one would be like him. Nobody. So they weren't even looking
That's
at
not true because that's a scholarship program. So
you said it.
There's a lot of guys that will come from the inner city that got a scholarship to go to St.
Like
Vincent.
Bronnie. Bronnie's not LeBron. Bronnie is the son of a man with $1 billion.
Oh, yeah, no. Ain't nobody there like that.
No, that's the thing.
Yeah.
So, like, the schools they were looking at were the schools on the east side of Cleveland. They were looking at Hawken and Western Reserve and University School. That's where they were looking to send him. So, part of the contributing factor
and they did the right thing there.
They did. So, they go to L.A. because now he can play on the same team with Dwayne Wade's kids and Carmelo's kids, and they're all similar. Right? That was part of the concern. So, yeah, I think he plays tonight because it's a special place. I think LeBron still owns that house up there in Bath. Pretty sure.
Yeah, he ain't getting rid of the house.
Or you can't sell it. You've seen it, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I go past it a couple of times. When I had my wife's friends was like, they lived around that area. So when I would go visit them, I would always drive past the house. And, yeah, it's one of one. You're not selling that.
Tell the folks who haven't seen it.
Oh, man.
The setup.
It's gated. First of all, it's gated. They got security sitting. They got the security.
But it's also
right there.
It's also on like a normal street.
Oh yeah.
It's not an estate.
No. Yeah, no. It's you literally. So once you get off the highway, you go down the street, and it's literally on the street. Now it's big, and it's the size of like 3 houses put together. Right. But yes, in a regular neighborhood.
It's pretty wild. One thing one of these homes is unlike the others. Is the way that I would describe it. Like this is very different from everything else in the area. It was a fun night in sports. So what I ended up doing, we got the 3 TV setup. So I kept an eye on the baseball on one, kept an eye on the crew on one, and then the wife and I watched the show. We watched it starting at 10 o'clock. But it was a fun night. I'm guessing that the Buckeyes are not expecting to have a lot of fun in terms of the task at hand in Happy Valley. You've been over there in a whiteout at night. It's a full day. What can they expect at noon on Saturday, the challenge of playing over there, and the stakes that are on the line? We get to all of that coming up next. We're off and running on a First Friday. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Integrity, honesty, and quality. Words we live by here at Monogram Homes. Hi, this is Dina, and at Monogram Homes, we strive to bring your wants to your man cave, your needs to your kitchen, and your ideas to life. Most home builders claim to be custom, but starting with stock floor plans and templates isn't our idea of a tailored experience. At Monogram Homes, we start with a blank slate and work with you until you get exactly what you want. So start your true custom home journey today with a builder you can trust. Monogram Homes. Visit us online at monogramhomes.net.
Gambling too much? I'm Abdullah Mahmood, problem gambling counselor at Mary Heben, where we offer in-person, virtual, and group options. We're here for you no matter what, and that's a bet you can actually count on this football season. Go to maryhaven.com today.
Skyline is serving up special Halloween ways made with orange noodles this Wednesday and Thursday only. Stop in for Skyline Halloween ways or pick them up and take them home. October 30th and 31st only at participating Skyline restaurants while supplies last.
Hey, it's Common Man and T-Bone. We've got an appearance coming up at our favorite place to do all our banging, Hollywood Casino Columbus.
We're going to be live Friday, November 1st at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook inside the casino for the top 5 matchup in Happy Valley.
Plus, you can win tickets to the big college football game in Columbus featuring our friends from the Hoosier State on November 23rd. We're giving those away this Friday.
The key is Friday. Come or you're dead to us. Must be 21 years or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Common Man and T-Bone are known for many things. And while great radio ain't one of them, shoving food down their gullets is their specialty. Join Man and Bone for Fat Boy Food Tip.
Live at 3 or on the podcast.
Your home for fat. The Fan.
The time to save big is now. It's Ford Truck Month at your local Ford dealer, and the time to buy is now. Make way for great offers across an amazing lineup of Ford trucks, featuring the built Ford Tough F-150 and Super Duty. Check out the versatile Ford Maverick and the capable Ford Ranger. But you can't wait. These limited truck month deals won't last. Check it all out at buyfordnow.com. Then get over to your local Ford dealer today. Hurry in, as these deals won't last long.
At Diamond Seller, we've been crafting love stories for over 77 years. Trust, quality, and always the guaranteed best price. Visit us today to experience the Diamond Seller difference. Stop into our showroom on Sawmill Road or at Easton Town Center.
Open a Platinum Rewards Visa at Kemba Financial Credit Union and secure super low everyday rates so you can pay down debt faster. Apply now at Kemba.org to unlock 2% cash back on purchases for a limited time and pay 0% interest for a full year on balance transfers plus exclusive perks. Restrictions apply. Offer ends October 31st, 2024.
Democrats will do anything to win. Changing the rules, mail-in ballots, cheating, and even opening our borders, all to win at any cost. Now they have a new scheme, Issue 1. Issue 1 would create a redistricting commission aimed at overturning key protections against gerrymandering in Ohio. Protections approved by over 70% of Ohio voters to prevent this exact kind of political manipulation of voting districts. And the members of this mysterious commission are backed by foreign special interest groups. They're unelected, unaccountable, and completely beyond voter control. If they abuse their power, there's no way to vote them out or hold them responsible. Their only purpose is to take control of Ohio's politics and turn the state from red to blue. This isn't democracy, it's deception. Don't let the Dems continue to rewrite the rules to rig the system in their favor. Protect Ohio's voice. Vote no on Issue 1. Paid for by Ohio Works.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Near record warmth today, going 80 for the high. Tomorrow, though, we are tracking a strong cold front. Most of Thursday is dry, but just in time for trick-or-treating. Between the hours of 2 p.m. and 9 p.m., we will be tracking some showers moving through with a high of 78. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 weather impact forecasts on 97.1 The Fan.
First Friday miracles are always better with Uncle Bo. This is Bishop and Friends.
And as always, we are brought to you by our great friends at Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Fast, sustainable weight loss without the medications. Awaken 180 Weight Loss for more. Buckeyes in Nittany's on Saturday at high noon in Happy Valley. It is a monster game for the Nittany Lions. We did the real truth yesterday, T, when you were out, and we discussed this fact. And let me run this by you. The loser, no matter which team it is, will still make the college football playoff.
Yeah, as long as you're talking about saying that they went out, right?
If you're correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. The Buckeyes, even at 8-2, or even if they finish the season 10-2, they'll be like 11 seed, but they'd still be in because you can't deny the talent. And for the same reason that we talked about earlier, if you put them against Boise State or you put them against whoever, Kansas State or whoever the heck it is, you're still going to have the Buckeyes favorite to win that game.
Yeah, and what's the other thing? It's so interesting. My kids.
And you got to have eyes on it, too. That's no brainer.
Oh, now you're on it. Yeah, learning. Buddy.
They definitely going to tune in for the Buckeyes.
They saw those the BTN numbers for Michigan State, number one cable football game over the weekend, so that's a win. Yeah, of course, it's the brand. My kids have really taken to how Gus Johnson says the world famous Ohio State Buckeyes. Yeah. They really took to that. So like for a kid, for me, it was, on the banks of the Olentangy and all of that stuff. But for them, it's Gus saying the world famous Ohio State Buckeyes. And that's the other reason. So they're going to get every benefit of the doubt. Mm-hmm. Penn State would get every benefit of the doubt. And by the way, Penn State would be 11-1 if they win out other than the one loss to Ohio State. So that's going to be plenty good.
And the loss, the point for both teams would be we lost to a top 4 team or we lost to the number 3 team. Like Ohio State would have lost to the number 1 and number 3 team. I think. So like, yeah, your resume still. But now the only problem is Ohio State won't have that signature win on their schedule.
No.
That'll be unless Indiana would probably be the biggest win.
Yes, it would be. And Indiana might be ranked 10th in the country by the time you play them here in a couple of weeks. Yeah, I mean, the reality is that 10-2 or 11-1 for either one of these programs is going to be fine. So what is interesting, though, is that both coaches are keenly aware of the way that their two programs are viewed. You heard it from James Franklin and his availability on Monday, talking a little bit about their record against the Buckeyes, 1-9. His record against top 10 teams is bad. His record against top 5 teams is even worse. He doesn't really have a ton of quality wins at all since he's been in State College. Ryan is certainly well aware of a top 5 ranking and what happens, when talent equates over the last 6 times. So he's aware of it too. You heard that in his availability yesterday at noon. You heard right here on The Fan. What I was curious about from your perspective, having played over there twice, 12 and 14, when we think about as a fan and you say, man, that's a tough place to play. What challenges does it provide, and what challenges can it provide at noon versus the challenges that you faced, for example, in 2014? I was over there with you guys, and it was the most ridiculous environment I've ever seen in college football. Yeah. Can it be close to that in the middle of the day?
See, that's hard because, the whiteout with the stuff flying at night, as loud as that stadium is, the way that their fans is, it'll be interesting. Now, don't get me wrong. I've done the tailgate show. We were there, I think it was like week 2 maybe, which I think it was the game against Bowling Green, which they kind of struggled with that game, which was funny.
Yeah, they did.
But their fans were still loud and proud there. And I don't know if it's because the tailgate was there, but, they still had
probably your presence.
That too. And, we had LeVar Arrington on and stuff like that. So it's a lot of things that brought a lot of fans to the party. But those fans are chaotic. I mean, like I said, when we played there, the air horns in the middle of the night to keep you up at night, like, just the stuff they say to you is just unbelievable. Like, it's like, did he really? They'll say it, and you'll look like, did he just really say that to me? Like, it's one of those type of things. And just the way that they're set up to where when you come out the locker room, like, they're literally right there. Like, their fans is right there, and they're just chirping at you the whole time. And like I said, it gets you fired up, but it does make it tough. And like I said, when it's loud on the field, it hurts with communication and things like that. But to be honest with you, that the atmosphere is so chaotic, so wild, that if you ain't ready to play, if you ain't got no dog in you, if you ain't trying to really help your team win games, and like I appreciate Coach Meyer always using the military reference, like, we got to make it home, like we got type thing. And if you're not really like have that mindset that like we're behind enemy lines and all we have is each other and I got to do my job at a high level to get us out of here, you will crumble to that atmosphere. So they got to accept that challenge. Don't get me wrong. Football is still football. Once you get on the field, obviously 100,000 people aren't on the field, but it does make a difference. It does change your mood and whatnot. Like for me in 2014, like I said, Coach Meyer always said, when I saw you that game, when I seen you in warm up, your eyes was different. I knew that you was going to have a good game. And it was just like, I was ready for that moment because to me, it was like, one, our season was kind of on the line because we had already lost to Virginia Tech. And two, like I understood the talent that Penn State had. Penn State always have a great team. They just struggle with the Buckeyes. And this year, with it to be in the top 5 moment, with them understanding that the Big Ten championship is right there, with them having a chance to make it to the CFP, with them needing a signature win to get the respect of the rest of the world, like you better be ready to go. You better tie your shoes up tight, strap that chin strap up tight, and get ready to bite down on that mouthpiece because they coming.
When I go over there, and Reese would certainly corroborate this based on the conversations we've had through the years, I see no scenario why they aren't better as a program than they've been.
Yeah, I don't
think
get
it
that
checks
either.
every box.
I don't get it either.
I think look, it's a tough place to get to.
Yes,
we know that.
Travel-wise
from
is
here.
terrible.
It's tough, but in terms of proximity to talent with the DMV in Virginia, the PA kids as well, that's all pretty close. It's such a cool college town. The Happy Valley mystique is very real, and the stadium experience is unbelievable. They play, for folks that haven't been over there, they have something constantly blaring.
Yeah.
Constantly. Every time out, there is, it's Sweet Caroline, or it's Living on a Prayer, or it's that damn cat that screeches. It's something always. I mean, it's the way they run out, like it's booming, and they built it in a way that the sound is just trapped.
Yeah.
It's trapped.
Yeah.
There's nowhere for the sound to go. So it's the loudest environment I've ever been in college football, and I've been to most of the big ones. I've been to Death Valley. I've been to places that the Swamp, places where historically it's about as loud as can be. It's the loudest one I've ever been in, and I don't know why they're not better, why they haven't been better. This is for them an enormous measuring stick game for James. James Franklin needs to win a game like this.
Yeah, he does.
He didn't want to play Ohio State, Michigan anymore. This is his last chance, probably over there, because they're here next year and then off, I believe.
Yeah, I think you're right, because everybody was upset it wasn't a protected rivalry game.
It was by us, not by them.
Exactly.
Franklin didn't want to do it. Ohio State said, we want to play Penn State. Franklin said, yeah, I'm good. Which tells you all you need to know about him.
Yeah, I don't blame him. If you got to play the Wolverines and Ohio State both every year, chances are you're going to get 2 losses.
If you're Penn State, that shouldn't be the case.
I get it. I understand,
you know what I mean?
But they haven't gotten there.
Say that to LeVar Arrington the next time you see him.
I'm not going to say, why would I do that? That man ain't so he could look at me like I got 2 heads.
He's formidable. He's formidable. A week from today, we will be talking about a college football bracket that has been unveiled. We're going to take a guess at what we think it's going to look like coming up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
During this 10-second promo, Rothman will lose money gambling on something.
People like you come here and blow the family nest egg that built this town.
Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan.
There was a time where I woke up every day and my knee kept bothering me. I wondered, would it ever get better? I'd like to go out and run. I'd like to go play golf. I'd like to hang out with my friends at the pool, go off the diving board, play with my kids, do the stuff that I wanted to do. I looked at having surgery, thought that's not the answer. Don't want to do that. I've had plenty of surgeries in my life. I didn't want to be on medication and just keep pounding ibuprofen and pain pills. That wasn't going to be the answer. So I want to get real, lasting relief, as thousands of patients will tell you. So I went over to QC Kinetics and talked to Dr. Ray Tesner. I even brought my dad with me and said, hey, he's got a bad knee too. He's at a little later stage in life. Could this work for him? QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in cellular therapies, including your own body's healing properties. That's what I wanted, to get healed up and do it the natural way. The choice is yours. So go check them out at qckinetics.com/Columbus. They've got offices in Dublin and in Gahanna, or call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
Get Eco.
Hey, Aaron. Hey, Jerry. Remember that day I invented the everything bagel? That was a heck of a day, Jerry. I was right there in line.
Get Eco.
I saw the onion bagel and the poppy seed bagel and the sesame bagel, and I thought, imagine if one bagel could give you everything you need. You changed the world that day, Jerry.
Get Eco.
I think Eco is just like that for homeowners in Ohio. Plumbers, electricians, HVAC technicians. One company, one call, everything you need.
Get Eco.
Eco is a complete ecosystem of home services all under one roof.
Ooh, that is a good one.
Big things, small things, projects that require a little of this and that. Eco has the whole ecosystem equally covered.
Get Eco.
What if one day someone comes up with a new thing you can put on a bagel?
Well, I've already patented everything, Aaron. Nobody can claim everything plus one.
You're a wise man, Jerry.
I'm making a fortune, Aaron.
Get Eco.
Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
Hi, here are some ways to listen to The Fan. You can download the Fan app, or listen at home on your smart speaker, or open up the iHeartRadio app, or hold your head out the window and hear Common Man scream. Happy listening from the dopes at The Fan.
Attention, small business or sole proprietors. Do you want to save money on health care for your business? Be able to cover your employees with the best dental, doctors, and hospitals? Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter for the SACA Benefit Plan. Nearly 100,000 members strong in the state of Ohio. The SACA Benefit Plan is administered by Anthem and could be right for you. Small businesses, visit 844-medohio.com. That's medohio.com. The SACA Benefit Plan could be right for you. Visit 844-medohio.com.
Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived. The only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, hockey. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com, and use promo code JUSTSPORTS to get a welcome bonus up to $100. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 or older and present in Ohio. If you or anyone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, it's Anthony. If you want to make the best deal in town on a new Honda, make sure you visit my friends at Germain Honda of Dublin. They're on Sawmill Road, just south of 270. And Rich tells me you're going to get 1.90% APR up to 60 months on most new 24s and 25 Hondas. They'll give you the details. Of course, you'll get same-day service, no appointment needed. And how about an extra $1,000 for your trade if you have a 2014 or newer vehicle? All with the great people at Germain Honda of Dublin.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Fast, sustainable weight loss without medications. The solution for weight loss. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
What's up?
What's up, man? Sup with you?
Sponsored by High Bank Distillery, home of the best blended whiskey in America. Grab a bottle or dine in at their 2 restaurant locations in Grandview and Gahanna. Drink local, drink High Bank.
All right, here's what's up on a First Friday edition of the program. A week from now, on Wednesday morning, all anyone is going to be talking about are the results of the first college football playoff bracket. Not the election, not NFL deadline for trades. This is it. This will be the list. The good news with this is we will at least have this probably finite in the time that it's supposed to be done, whereas with the election, my guess is we'll be doing this show and we will not have a president-elect by Wednesday morning. It feels like that seems like a lock. Yeah, used to be able to do it. Used to be able to get it done by 10 o'clock at night. Now can't get it done. So it'll probably take a little while on that side of things. In terms of this college football playoff poll that's released, I'm fascinated in about everything with this. I'm fascinated how closely they mirror the AP. I'm fascinated by what they do at the back half of the top 25. Are they showing a top 20 or top 25, Reese? Do we know?
Isn't it 25?
I think it's a 25.
Okay. But they better be careful with that. If I were them, I would just show the 12. I would not rank 13 to 25 because you could back yourself into a corner if you do that a little bit too much. And people are like, wait a second, you had these guys 13 and you have these guys at 20 and they jumped 7 spots. What happened? So I wouldn't do that, but they're making a television show, so they will. So what we tasked ourselves with was, what do we think this thing will look like next week? So you have to take into account the games that are played this week. So obviously Penn State, Ohio State, that one will have a lot to do with how these rankings play out. In terms of the other top teams, Georgia plays Florida, Oregon plays Michigan. It's not a great week in college football. There's a lot of buys for the top teams, and a lot of it, I don't think there will be many upsets in terms of the ranked teams. So the way that the bracket works, 8 plays 9, 5 plays 12, 7 plays 10, and 6 plays 11. Then the 8-9 winner feeds to number 1 seed, 5-12 feeds into the 4, the 7-10 feeds into the 2, and the 6-11 feeds into the 3. So who are your top 4 teams that you think they will be next week? And remember, it's not the top 4 teams in the country, it's the top 4 seeds, so it's got to be 4 different conferences represented.
I didn't think about that. So Oregon, Georgia,
So
Miami.
Georgia's the 2, Oregon's the 1, Georgia's the 2. Same.
Miami.
Yep.
And
It's gonna be.
I can't put no. It's got BYU.
It's BYU. It's BYU. So it'll be Oregon the 1.
Because it can't be Notre Dame because they ain't none in the conference.
No, Notre Dame can't get high enough. Yeah. So I think Oregon will be the 1, Georgia will be the 2, the 3 will be Miami, and the 4 will be BYU. Because I don't think Miami's losing this week, and BYU's not going to lose this week either. So then you go back to the top of the bracket. Let's do this numerically. So I think Ohio State's going to beat Penn State, so I think Ohio State's the 5.
I would agree.
So that would set up Ohio State to play Boise State in the 5-12 game, which would feed into BYU. So theoretically, if this were to hold,
that's a good spot.
You would have to beat Boise State and BYU to play in the college football semifinals into the Final Four. So that's how I think it'll look next week. Predicated Ohio State beats Penn State.
I ain't got no issue with that.
No, you take that.
Yeah.
The 6, if this is done right now, would be Texas.
Yep, that's what I got.
Okay. Now this is the part where I'm going to go against type.
No,
because I think they're going to reward the conferences, the power conferences, the power 2. I think the 11 would be Indiana. Dang. Indiana's going to beat Michigan State this weekend. They're going to be undefeated. I think they will jump Indiana over Iowa State.
Yeah, I mean,
so that would set up.
Well, I mean, yes, you can't deny that.
They're undefeated.
That's what I'm saying.
They're in the Big Ten.
What?
It's a better league.
What message, or if you as an Iowa State fan, how can you go again? How could you argue that?
Well, there's a million ways they could argue it, but that's not the committee's problem. Iowa State's undefeated too. Reese is right.
The Big 10, the Big 12.
That's right.
Come on. Let's stop it.
So that would set up a Texas-Indiana winner against Miami in a quarterfinal. So that's I like Texas's chances there with Indiana and against Miami. All right, so the 7-10 then would be a bit of a humdinger. I think it would be Tennessee and Penn State.
I had Notre Dame and Penn State, but I can see it either way. I got Tennessee at 8.
Let's do what you just did. What did you say? You said Tennessee and Notre Dame?
Yeah. No, I got Notre Dame and Penn State. 7-10 matchup. Notre Dame, Penn State was mine.
That's not the worst thing, because if I'm making television shows and I got Notre Dame, Penn State feeding into Georgia, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's brutal.
That's a pretty good television show. To go Notre Dame, Penn State feeding into Georgia, that's a bunch of TV shows I can make. So then the 8-9, you have who do you have in the 8-9 then at the top?
I had Tennessee and Indiana, but you got Indiana at 11, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So
you have A&M out.
Yep.
So right now I have 8-9 being Notre Dame Texas A&M rematch in South Bend feeding into Oregon.
That's a good game too, actually. Then but they played already.
They did. And that's the one. This is the thing that. This is my theory on what they will do.
Where would that game be?
South Bend. So the home games, if this were to hold, the home games would be Texas A&M at South Bend in the 8-9, Boise State at Ohio State in the 5-12, Penn State at Tennessee in the 7-10, and Indiana at Texas in the 6-11. If that held.
I mean, that's all a solid football game. I've never been a fan of seeing the rematch. But I guess if you're going to have to do it.
It's a rematch far enough away from the initial.
Yeah, you got a
Plus, you're going up against Patrick Mahomes and C.J. Stroud and Steelers-Ravens, which right now looks really good. So from who are we counter-programming, this will be important, and I think they're going to set the stage for that next Tuesday night. To where they can have your absolute best first-round matchups, because you've got a pair of NFL games that are going to be serious eyeball draws.
So the early NFL game is Ravens-Steelers, and the late NFL game is Chiefs-Texans. So Goodell said...
is dead wrong for this.
Oh, they're cold-blooded. Goodell said, hold my beer. You want to have your little playoff in December?
Yeah.
You want to do that? You sure? You want to infringe on me?
But I tell you what, it's staggered enough that the initial ratings for the college game will be high because people want to watch football. So because it's like the college game started at like 3:30 and then the NFL started at 4 or something like that.
It starts at noon, right, Reese? The NFL starts at 1. The college stuff starts at noon.
Okay,
Correct.
so you'll get for at least an hour. You'll get some ratings because people want to watch football, so they'll watch that, and then eventually they'll shift over. Is these NFL games going to be on regular TV, or is it like on Amazon?
Oh, no. Network.
So you got NBC and CBS.
Okay.
For two
He's not messing around, buddy.
He did wrong for this.
I'm thinking of Goodell as he's writing it, going, that's cute.
He did wrong. He can't even put it on Prime. That's bad.
No.
Two of your 3 college football playoff matchups are on TNT.
Which is,
they
had to farm it out.
So they got to trumpet that as much as they can between now, next Tuesday, and December 21st so that people know where the hell to find these things.
Yeah, that's why they got to get the calendar fixed. So it's 1 college football game on Friday, and then it's 2 in the afternoon on Saturday and 1 in prime time. The prime time one is unopposed by the NFL. So the things to watch for next week, are they worried about rematches? Will they shuffle ratings to get better television shows? Rankings to get better television shows. And I think they will on both fronts.
You got to.
They will. So if it played out the way I have it, I think that they would play, I think Ohio State, Boise State would probably be either the Friday game or the Saturday night game. And I think if it played out the way I have it, it would be Tennessee and Penn State would be the Friday or Saturday night game. And the sacrificial lambs would be Notre Dame and Texas A&M playing at noon and Texas and Indiana playing at 3:30.
If you do Notre Dame and Texas A&M, people might not want to watch that anyways because it's like we already seen that. So they'll be fine with missing it because they've seen that TV show before, if that makes sense.
And that's why what you said, I could see them doing that. Because if you just swap Indiana and probably Indiana and Notre Dame and have Notre Dame play Texas and have Indiana play Texas A&M, then Texas A&M Indiana can be the sacrificial lamb against the NFL, and Texas and Notre Dame would rate.
For sure.
I mean, that's a television show.
Yeah, for sure. Everybody going to check that one out.
Yeah, so they can do whatever they want.
That's what they better do. They better do.
They can do whatever they want with these. There's nothing they're beholden to. There's no ratings. There's no computer system. This ain't PFF where there's data. There's no process. It's a completely subjective process. So they'll do whatever they want, and it's going to be fascinating to see what they do next Tuesday night. Ryan Day, on the road at State College for Penn State. How do you get this run game going? How do you prepare for 2 quarterbacks? Does any of it matter, especially that last part? We'll get to it coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Head to 971thefan.com to listen on demand and subscribe to all our podcasts. Wasting time has never been easier. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
A vote for Sherrod Brown is a vote against Donald Trump. Sherrod Brown has spent 31 years in Washington, D.C., backing radical liberal policies.
Late-term partial birth abortion, where the baby is partially delivered alive. Trans biological men in girls' sports and bathrooms. Puberty blockers and even sex change surgery for children. Amnesty for 11 million illegal immigrants.
Brown's liberal policies are the opposite of the Trump agenda, and Brown would oppose Trump at every turn. To undo the damage of the last 4 years, President Trump and Ohio need Republican Bernie Moreno in the Senate. 6 more years of Sherrod Brown? He's for they, them, not you. Sherrod Brown has let us down. He's way too liberal for Ohio.
Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
Skyline is serving up special Halloween ways made with orange noodles this Wednesday and Thursday only. Stop in for Skyline Halloween ways or pick them up and take them home. October 30th and 31st only at participating Skyline restaurants while supplies last.
Dormar, you're kind of hero.
My furnace just went out.
Ma'am, have no fear. Dormar is here. We can get that furnace fixed fast.
Dormar, you guys are the best.
Dormar, you're kind of hero.
At Byers Auto, we've been football fans since 1897, back when tailgates had actual tails. Our legacy of supporting our local team is as strong as our commitment to providing exceptional vehicles. While we're known for our new cars, we also offer a variety of pre-owned vehicles that meet our rigorous standards. Our friendly staff is here to help you find the perfect vehicle for your lifestyle and budget. Visit us in person or shop online at buyersauto.com. Come see why it's better to buy at Buyers.
Morning Juice.
If you can't sub and 20 seconds is obscenely gross, and get whatever you need unless there's guys who are just being lazy.
Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Affinity Whole Health.
Weekday mornings at 6. The Fan.
Jeremy Foltz, CEO and co-founder of 3C Technology Solutions, speaks about working with First Bank of Central Ohio.
I think FBCO had a really nice personal touch. Transition was really easy and much cleaner than I thought it would be. Some very specific things that made me very excited to work with them are availability and creativity.
Experience what it's like to be first at First Bank of Central Ohio. Visit fbcentralohio.com for more details. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Nothing makes being outdoors better than having the right gear and the right crew. So here's an idea. Let Mountain Dew supply the gear and you bring the friends. Because when you buy specially marked multi-packs of Mountain Dew, you can collect points and earn epic limited edition outdoor gear. We're talking everything from custom Mountain Dew camp chairs and backpack coolers to exclusive Mountain Dew tents, fishing boats, and more. So buy Dew, collect points, get gear, and get outside with Mountain Dew outdoor gear.
Open to legal U.S. residents 18 plus. Subject to program terms at dewoutdoors.com and 12/31/24. Void or prohibited.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check that your guests like spicy first before serving atomic hot wings.
Who's hungry?
Oh my gosh. What are these?
You don't like them? Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Water.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Are you ready to unleash the beast?
Monster Energy is here to give you the edge this college tailgate season. Loaded with bold flavors, our powerful blend gives you the energy you need to push you beyond your limits. Tune in all season long with Monster, the energy drink of ESPN Radio College Football Tour. Power your performance with a drink that's as hungry for victory as you are. Crack open an ice-cold Monster and dominate your competition. Monster Energy. Unleash the beast. Grab yours today.
Saturday is game day on The Fan.
Sponsored by Riker Chevy.
Every game, every season, your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan. After putting up with Dom Tiberi for a decade, the broadcast gods gave Bo these two. This is Bishop and Friends.
You know, it's interesting. You can be 8 years old. You can be 28 years old. You can be 18 years old. If you don't block and tackle, you ain't going to win. It's kind of that simple sometimes. I mean,
football is a simple game, Bo.
I mean, it is, right? I mean, we can talk about all the fancy stuff, but the reality is if you can't block it up front and if you don't tackle it and that's all the stuff that comes with tackling it, you're not going to win a lot. Right now, the Buckeyes on the offensive side of things, offensive front side of things, it's a struggle. Ryan Day was available yesterday, both with Buckeye Roundtable and also, of course, his presser. He addressed the enormous challenge that will be the Penn State front and this Ohio State offensive line that had some struggles last week against Nebraska.
Players on defensive line and on defense in general. So you certainly got to know where 11 is on the field. He's dynamic as a player. So whether it's run game, pass game, I mean, you got to really do a good job with him. I think, like you said, there's other guys on that line that are really good as well. So it'll be a challenge for our guys, and so we got to have a great week of preparation. And, I think our guys are going to be fired up to play in this game, and I think it's a great challenge for our guys up front coming off of last week. So, we're in it now, and, we got a lot on the line this week. And so here we go. We got to go win this game.
Number 11 is Abdul Carter.
Mm-hmm. Top 15 pick.
He's the best defensive lineman they've played this year.
Yes.
Because the dude at Oregon didn't play.
Correct.
And they're in the same vicinity. I'll tell you this, buddy. Back in August, when I played the season with Ohio State on college football, the college football video game, that dude wreaked havoc.
Well,
you could not.
Wait a minute. Quinshaw had one of the best spin moves in the game. It was broken. and I'm yet to see him hit that spin move in the game.
I haven't seen it either.
We got to.
But it was a problem. of all of the teams that I played in that. Penn State's front caused the most problems for our offensive line.
I mean, they always.
And he's the reason why.
They always have a good a defensive line. Literally year after year, they have a first-round guy. I think Chops Robinson was the guy last year that went first round. So they always got some guy on their D-line that's going to wreak havoc. And the fact that right now our tackle position is what it is, it's very concerning, but there's always ways to game plan around it. The problem is you have to sacrifice an extra guy to try to make sure you can secure that. And you really don't want to do that as a play caller. But if that's what you got to do to get through this game, then that's what you're just going to have to do.
What would you do up front to handle him?
Tight end to his side, chip release, running back chip on the way out, something like that, just to give an extra hand over there. Because all you really need with the receivers that you have, I'm not that big on the corners at Penn State. Their safety play is really good, but I'm not that big on the corners specifically. With the receivers that you have, you need what, 4 seconds maybe for them to get, and all you need is a chip. If he can chip them, that should buy him an extra 1.5 second before he can cause some havoc back there. So be smart. And if you're going to have to go quick game, you still got receivers that can win routes and quickly. So it's many ways to slow this thing down.
This one of the issues that really reared its ugly head on Saturday was the inability on third down, 1 of 10 in the game against Nebraska, a lot of 3-and-outs in the game, which contributed to the amount of plays that Ohio State's offense was able to get off. A big part of that, obviously, was just struggles in the run game. Just couldn't get it going. Ryan Day addressed those struggles yesterday.
Well, the biggest thing was obviously the third downs. When you go 1 for 10, you can't keep drives alive, you can't control the game, and that's how it goes. But I think a combination of things. I don't think we were always ID'd correctly, and Zen did get beat on a few of them there, but it wasn't just him. There were some other things that were mixed in there, but in Chip, I think we ran it double, twice as much as we threw it in the game, and so we're looking to establish the run. But when you can't convert on the third downs, the third and shorts, then you can't get drives going. You can't wear down defense. So we've got to convert on third down.
There was clearly it was a clear effort to get the ground game going. Yeah. And Ryan talked about that. We ran it twice as much as we threw it. You and I talked Monday. I don't know if you can find a running game this late in the season.
No. I mean, because the thing is, at a point it was successful, and you can't let just one guy, just because one guy is gone, like you can't run the ball. And, I've been doing, because I got to talk about Penn State and Ohio State and for Big Ten stuff on Saturday. So I went back last night and I was watching the Penn State and Wisconsin game, because that's the most recent game. Coming into that game, if you have any familiarity with Wisconsin, Tyree Walker has been their running back because Ches Malusi had stepped away from the game. He retired. So Tyree Walker has been the guy, and he's been running for some numbers coming in that game. I'm talking, he had like 190, 150. Like, he's been very productive. He was not that against Penn State. They did a really good job of shutting them down. And what Wisconsin had the explosive plays was in the passing game, which is why I know that Ohio State should have a ton of success there, because don't get me wrong, Wisconsin got some good wide receivers. They ain't like Ohio State's wide receivers. And the quarterback that they have is the backup quarterback, Braden Locke, because Tyler Van Dyke went out with the ACL injury, so he's out for the season. And Locke had some success throwing the ball to these wide receivers. So I would imagine that we'll have to go back to that. I understand Ryan Day's wanting to run the ball, because if you want to be successful, obviously as it gets colder and later in the season, the team that's the more physical, that can run the ball and impose your will on these defenses, it wears them down. Unfortunately, I don't know if the line is going to give you those creases right now. So you got to take advantage of their weakness. And to me, I think it's the corners.
This is not what we thought Will Howard was going to have to do.
No.
We thought that he would game manage, make throws on third and manageable when he needed to, hit some big shots over the top, run, right? That was a big part of it, was his ability to run the ball and pick up yardage that way. I think that Ryan Day has to forget what Tyvis and I are saying. Well, don't, because there's good stuff here. But also, Ryan Day has shown you. He's shown you. Him and Chip Kelly have shown you that when it comes time to go win a game, what they trust the most is the pass game.
Yeah,
they showed you that at Oregon.
Well, it's been like that for 3-4 years.
Well, since Ryan's been here, but we thought this would be different with Chip and with now a quarterback who would run it again like Justin did.
Well, Chip, everywhere Chip's gone, he's improved the run game. And like I say, it was moments in this season where the run game looked really good.
Yeah.
And right now, it's just not there. And the good news is you good enough to beat a lot of teams with the pass.
You are, yeah. This is going to be a lot on Will, and we'll examine this as the week goes along. But and we'll get to it at 10:20 as well with Chip Kelly. But like Pennsylvania kid, wanted to go to Penn State, probably never thought he'd ever play in state college, and now leading this team over there. And if Ohio State wins, it will be largely because of his ability to throw the ball down the field to those talented receivers. So this will be a lot on that side of things. We'll hit a little higher, lower coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
If the sound of another man slammed against plexiglass turns you on, you've come to the right place. Proud to be your home for Jackets hockey. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
We've seen it before. Politicians and lobbyists playing games, drawing voting maps to keep power in their hands, not ours. Courts have ruled Ohio's voting districts unconstitutional 7 times, while our communities have been left out again and again. But this November, you have a chance to change that with Issue 1. Issue 1 will make it illegal for politicians to manipulate voting districts for themselves or their own party. Instead, it creates an open, transparent process where a diverse group of citizens, not politicians, will draw the lines. No more backroom deals, no more gerrymandering, just fairer maps that represent our communities. Issue 1 gives you and me the power to ensure everyone's vote counts. This is about real change, a chance to end the games and make our voices heard. So vote yes on Issue 1, fair representation, and power to the people. Paid for by citizens, not politicians.
Hi, this is Ron from the Good Feet store. Are you standing on painful feet all day? Don't lose hope. We want to help you live without pain. Discover your options and visit goodfeet.com. Or stop in today at the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway in Grove City.
QC Kinetics not only has the latest non-invasive treatments for joint pain relief, but they also have one of the most respected names in sports medicine, serving as their medical director. That's Dr. Ray Tesner.
As the founder of Sports Medicine Grant and a classically trained orthopedic surgeon, it's exciting to be involved with the latest advances in regenerative medicine and QC Kinetics.
Well, QC Kinetics is making a huge difference in the quality of my life and others as well.
As folks already know, Bobby Carpenter and Sat Sullinger are sports legends in Columbus. QC Kinetics has already made a big difference in their lives, and also for Bobby's father, Rob Carpenter, a 10-year NFL veteran.
And the QC Kinetics team are seasoned medical professionals.
One of the cool things about being the medical director of QC Kinetics is the privilege I have of working with our staff, who have 15 years of experience in regenerative medicine.
You could be next. Go to QCkinetics.com/Columbus and call QC Kinetics today for your complete complimentary consultation, 380-208-4544.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Trust and Will knows that we'll all eventually need a will. How about right now? Trust and Will makes creating your will easy, like while you're lounging on the couch easy. Trust and Will is designed by attorneys but customized by you, and all documents are state-specific and secure. Find your plan at trustandwill.com and use offer code Columbus now for 10% off. That's trustandwill.com, offer code Columbus. Trust and Will is an online service providing legal forms and information. It is not a law firm and is not a substitute for the advice of an attorney.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football. It's a pepper thing.
Attention football fans, the season's heating up, and that means it's time for jaw-dropping plays, spectacular touchdowns, and memories that'll last a lifetime. So if you're looking to grab the best seats for all the excitement, Vivid Seats is your go-to playmaker. With an incredible selection of tickets and a game-changing rewards program, Vivid Seats is your ticket to every thrilling moment. Don't miss out. Experience it live with Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars, Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. Number 4, Ohio State's a 3.5-point road favorite Saturday at number 3, Penn State. Kickoff from Happy Valley is set for noon. Hear from OSU's head coach tomorrow at noon on the Ryan Day Show. Buckeyes will host Purdue next Saturday. The time for that kick is still to be determined. On the ice tonight at Nationwide, the Blue Jackets look to make it 2 straight, hosting the Islanders at 7 o'clock. You can hear that one on the Fan with pregame coverage at 6:30. Jackets will host Winnipeg Friday night. In baseball last night, the Yankees beat the Dodgers 11-4 in Game 4 of the World Series. L.A. leads 3-1. New York's going to host Game 5 tonight at 8. In soccer, the New York Red Bulls beat the Crew 1-0 last night in Game 1 of their first-round playoff series. Red Bulls will host Game 2 on Sunday. Crew need a win there to force a deciding Game 3 in Columbus, November 10th. This update is sponsored by Valley Ford of Columbus, Bronco, Explorer, Mustang Mach-E, and more. Ride into autumn with Valley Ford of Columbus.
Pull up a stool and ask the bartender for something neat, because Uncle Bo is on the radio. This is Bishop and Friends.
Bo Tyvis and Reese with you here on a First Friday. Still time to get your Hey Guys questions in for us coming up at 11 o'clock. Hit Reese up on the social or in the YouTube chat, and we'll handle those there. Had a bit of a melancholy night last night, boys. I always do the pumpkin carving. That's my job. Like, you know, I do it.
You do know you got to get the bigger pumpkin, right?
Yeah. Okay. I do.
Okay. I made the mistake.
What am I, heart of pumpkins?
Listen, I
know how to do a pumpkin carving.
I made the mistake of getting a small one. I will never. It's been the last time I've ever carved a pumpkin.
So the key is serrated knife or power drill. Yeah. You want one of those two things? Like the power drill is a game changer. You get yourself a power drill, and you can do some magic on those pumpkins. I mean, that's a lock. That's the first thing that's my first piece of advice. So this is how this usually goes in our house. And normally it's like last week. We just had so much stuff going on that I missed it. The way that it goes is the boys bring me their 3 pumpkins. They decide what they want, and usually it goes NBC, the 12-year-old wants scary. Beamsy, the 10-year-old, he wants surprised or happy, which fits his personality pretty good. And then Bootsy usually wants abstract. Like he'll want like, Dad, put an OSU on the helmet or on like an OSU on the pumpkin. That's usually what he wants.
Okay.
So we sit down, we get him to go, and then this is the way that it usually works. They're really excited to stick their hands in and muddle with the seeds and touch all of that for about 26 seconds. And then it's me carving pumpkins by myself. And they come back at the end and are all excited, and they light it up, and away we go. And I make a big deal about how, why do I always got to do this? None of you help, blah, 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 blah. And it's just part of the shtick. They didn't ask me this year.
And you feel some type of way about it, don't you?
I feel a way about it.
I know. I know.
Like, wait a second. It's like cats in the cradle. What happened here? So NBC carved his on Monday, did a pretty good job. No fingers were lost. And the other 2, I took Buddy Garrity for his nightly walk, and when I came back, they were like in mid-carve with my wife. And what happened? You don't need the old man anymore? I'm out?
People don't realize that this is a date.
It's a thing, brother.
You doing that now. My oldest daughter does that to me now, where she's like, I'm going to do it myself. I want to do it myself. I'm like,
that's right.
You don't want, but what about the time that we spent? Like, right. Like me getting upset about it, but eventually doing it. Like, that was a thing. I look forward to that. And now you don't need me.
You don't need us? You're going to carve pumpkins on your own?
Yeah, it's a sad day. I know exactly how you feel.
I just went down to the basement. I played a game of college football by myself. It's like, all right, this is what I'll do. I guess I'll play the Michigan game. Been saving that for 2 months. I'll play the Michigan game. Alex Orji, by the way, is Patrick Mahomes on that game. He was like 17 of 23 throwing the ball for 300 yards. We won, but it was like 28-17. It was brutal.
You let Alex Orgy do you like that.
The computer let him. Dude, every third and manageable, the kid put it on the screws. It was ridiculous. He's bouncing off Jack Sawyer. I'm like, this is ridiculous. What are we doing? We did win, though. All right.
Well, that's the most important part.
It is, yeah. All right, let's do a little higher or lower. Hit it, Reese.
Bishop and Friends present Higher or Lower.
Sponsored by The Waterworks. The Waterworks, your undefeated team of plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling. Call 614-232-2222 today.
All right, this week's Higher or Lower comes to us for the last time this college football season from the AP voters and their top 25 poll going into Week 10. Next week's college football playoff reveal show is being called the College Football Top 25 Playoff Selection Show, or some amalgamation of that, but they are emphasizing top 25. Wow. So this is going to be 1 through 25 you're going to sit through, or just sit through 1 through 12, and then I guess if you're looking at the numbers, watch as the bar graph just dips. Or not the bar graph, the chart just dips in terms of audience viewing.
I'm as interested, Reese, in 13 to 25 as 1 through 12.
13 to 20, maybe.
Because I want to see how they try to reverse engineer this. Let me ask you this, Reese, because you've followed these polls, and I know this is something you pay close attention to. How closely is your anticipation that they will parrot the college football AP poll?
Very close.
I'd say they get 75% of it is a mirror.
Okay.
I think because the AP voters are going by the teams they think right now are the best, or teams that they think have the capability to be here at the end of the season. College Football Playoff Committee, I think, is going to go with television shows first. Like, that's going to be paramount for them to do next Tuesday.
I'm very curious if they do that in week 1 or if they get there by the end. I think it's going to. I'm so curious how they do this. All right.
All right, we'll start with number 1, Oregon. They got 61 first-place votes. At number 2, with 1 first-place vote, Georgia. At number 3, Penn State. Number 4, Ohio State. Number 5, Miami. Number 6, Texas. Higher or lower for those teams?
I don't think Penn State's the 3rd best team in the country.
We gonna find out, because with how you feel is probably how 98% of America feels about Penn State.
There they sit.
I mean, what can you say? They're in one of the top conferences and they're undefeated.
Are we sure
Indiana should get more respect?
We'll get to them. Are we sure if the vast Powell estate was on the line and Penn State was playing Miami?
Who would I? That's a good one.
Can Penn State beat Miami?
I think Penn State can beat Miami, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I think Miami's played enough close games against some teams that I just don't respect a lot of. And I think Penn State would actually get the better of them because they have the ability. Well, now that they have the ability to pass the ball, and I think the Tyler Warren kid at tight end is a huge mismatch for a lot of people, I think that they would actually get Miami.
Okay. In that instance, then, I think they're probably properly ranked. The thing that gets tricky is if I ask you that same question about Penn State against Texas, I'm guessing you would go with Texas.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
Right. Would you do the same with Tennessee, who's ranked 7th?
You know how I feel about Tennessee.
I know.
I'm taking Tennessee.
Yeah, so this is what's going to be tricky here because we're trying to compare teams that are playing very different metrics week in and week out. That's why for Penn State at 3rd in the country, and I'm fine with them where they are. Quite honestly, this top 5 is fine. It's more than fine. You could argue that Miami should be ahead, even of us. With 8 game on the metric point. I think Ohio State's a better team than Miami, but they are undefeated. They've played 8 games. They have not lost. And so if you want to do that, that's fine. None of this really matters at this point anyway, other than just setting it up for next week. But I think that's why this game is so critical for Penn State, because there isn't another chance. If they lose this one, they're going to go 11-1, and there really isn't another chance for them to have what we would consider a signature win. Their best win, they won at USC. They're 4 games after the Buckeye game. Washington at home, at Purdue, at Minnesota, Maryland at home.
Yeah,
they're going 11-1.
That's nothing. Yeah, this is a big one. This is definitely a big one. I'm with you, though. It's something about just seeing Penn State at number 3. I guess maybe it's because we haven't seen it in a long time. Are they dominating their wins? Like, they're not.
No. You just watched them against Wisconsin. So did I. Does that look like the third best team in the country?
No. I mean, 28-13.
I think Notre Dame's been more impressive. Notre Dame's got a bad loss, but I think Notre Dame's better than Penn State.
I agree with that statement. Notre Dame, the way they did the Navy, like that was impressive.
Troops. Treasonous. But the Irish come in at 8 in the AP Top 25 poll. At 9, BYU, 10, Texas A&M, 11, Iowa State, and Clemson. Because with the Top 25 AP poll, they go by points, and so both have 968 points. At 13, Indiana. At 14, Alabama. 15, Boise State. Higher or lower for the Broncos there?
I don't think there's going to be a lot of teams ahead of them that are going to want to play them in the 5-12. I mean, they gave Oregon fits. I don't think you're going to be crazy. I mean, that was to play that kid.
It was early, though.
It was. But if this keeps going and he wins the Heisman, and right now he's the favorite, this wasn't in the brochure in the 5-12 game, my friends. You weren't supposed to have to play. You're supposed to play a group of 5, and it's like, okay, here's essentially a bye. We'll play Tulane. We'll play whoever. But this Boise State team can go a little bit. And with Genty, they can go a lot. So, like, it's not – obviously, you'd be fine. You feel very good about Ohio State against them if it works out that way, that we're in that 5 slot, or if it's Oregon in the 5 slot in a rematch. But, boy, they're going to be a full day. And I think Boise State would give Iowa State a full day. I think them against Indiana would be a full day. I'm not crazy. I'm not sure that Boise State wouldn't give A&M some fits, although A&M found something with that new quarterback. That's certainly true.
You gotta take into account that this game will be played in January, right?
No, December. The 5-12 game will be December 20th.
So in the elements, it'll be cold.
Yeah.
So
it's cold in Boise.
That leans more towards Boise because you're running the ball.
Yeah.
So that plays a factor. Actually, I do think that they beat Iowa State. I think the Indiana game is a good one, but I do think Indiana wins.
What do you think of the Hoosiers?
I think that the Hoosiers is really a good football team because they can do everything. Like they can pass. I thought going into this past weekend, I was like, this is going to be a test. Because this Jackson kid, this Taven Jackson kid usually turns the ball over and he struggles. Mm-hmm. They didn't skip a beat. They run the ball. The problem is they run the ball and they got like 3 running backs that can run the ball effectively. And the receivers are getting open. Like they're running these nice little routes that's getting him open, and they got some good yak. And the defense, I think they got one of the top. They had the number 7 scoring defense, so they're not giving up a lot of points. They stopped the run. I think they might be in the top of the Big Ten as run defense. So yeah, like that's. I don't really know how to really beat them, to be honest with you. You would have to have just straight talent. Your talent just have to be head and shoulders above them.
You're going to find out because they're at Sparty this weekend. Then it's Michigan at home, and then they're here. So if they go 2-1 in that stretch, they're probably going to make the playoff. 1 and 2, they won't.
Do they still can they make the Big Ten championship?
I don't know the tiebreakers.
See, I don't either.
If Ohio State has one, I would think the first would be head to head, right? So if Ohio State, if our only loss is at Oregon and we win the rest, then we would have the tiebreaker over Indiana. Oregon's not losing. They ain't. Look at it
out there. It's not happening.
No, they're at Michigan this week. Then they're Maryland. Then they're at Wisconsin, which could be a little tricky.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's Washington at home. Oregon's not losing one of those games. That would be the mess. If you have a 3-way tie and they're 11-1, and Oregon's 11-1, Ohio State's 11-1, and Indiana's 11-1, and all their losses are to each other, but none of them played.
11-1,
and Penn State's 11-1. Now you're talking about a mess, and that's all of a sudden that's Pepe Silvia. Your head goes cross-eyed trying to figure out exactly what's happening there. Going to be fascinating next week to see what they do with this poll. Chip Kelly on the offensive struggles to run the ball and how important it will be to do so this weekend. Well, I'm not sure if I agree with that. We'll get to that coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
All the 10 TV people come over to our side of the building to take a deuce. That should tell you something about how we operate. The Fan.
We all know Central Ohio's growing fast. It's making traffic worse and life more expensive. That's why voting yes on Issue 47 is so important. Issue 47 will help folks get to work faster and cheaper by creating Coda Rapid Bus Service. That means more routes, better hours, and more reliable service. That will expand access to transportation for everyone in our community, from the elderly to the disabled, to veterans and students. And Issue 47 will make our neighborhoods safer and more walkable by building 500 miles of sidewalks, trails, and bikeways. When we pass Issue 47, we'll get $1 billion in matching funds from the federal government to pay for it. We're already sending our tax dollars to D.C. Let's bring some of that money home to help our community. Issue 47 means safer neighborhoods and a better quality of life for our families. It's an easy call. Vote yes on Issue 47. Paid for by moving Central Ohio forward.
As Cybersecurity Awareness Month winds down, LifeLock reminds you to update your software regularly. These updates fix security flaws that could be exploited by identity thieves, but don't stop there. LifeLock offers comprehensive identity theft protection that goes the extra mile. LifeLock not only alerts you to suspicious use of your info, but also takes action to resolve identity theft issues, guaranteed, or your money back. Start your 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com. Use promo code NEWS. Terms apply.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Getting ready for more rain and longer nights? We've got you. Right now, you can earn up to $25 in bonus rewards when you buy 2 Sylvania Silver Star Ultra bulbs and 2 Rain-X Quantum Elite wiper blades. More rewards and better visibility at America's #1 lighting destination, AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Offer valid for AutoZone Rewards members. Restrictions apply.
The Fan app is about to become your new best friend. Your one-stop shop for all your favorite fan shows. ESPN Columbus and BetQL. Live or on demand. Listen on your schedule. Download the 97.1 The Fan app today. It's free. Do it.
A vote for Sherrod Brown is a vote against Donald Trump. Sherrod Brown has spent 31 years in Washington, D.C., backing radical liberal policies.
Late-term partial birth abortion, where the baby is partially delivered alive. Trans biological men in girls' sports and bathrooms. Puberty blockers and even sex change surgery for children. Amnesty for 11 million illegal immigrants.
Brown's liberal policies are the opposite of the Trump agenda, and Brown would oppose Trump at every turn. To undo the damage of the last 4 years, President Trump and Ohio need Republican Bernie Moreno in the Senate. 6 more years of Sherrod Brown? He's for they, them, not you. Sherrod Brown has let us down. He's way too liberal for Ohio.
Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
Voting. It's more than just a right, it's a responsibility. November 5th is Ohio's general election, and we encourage you to make your voice heard. Ohio offers 3 convenient ways to vote: voting on Election Day, early in person, and absentee voting. No matter the method you choose, you can be confident that your vote is secure and your voice will be heard. Go to voteohio.gov to learn more. Sponsored by Ohio Secretary of State Frank LaRose.
If you recently lost health coverage due to a life change, healthcare.gov is here for you. Like it was there for Marcus when he lost his job, and Keisha when she turned 26 and lost her parents' insurance, and Elena when she went off Medicaid. There are many other ways to qualify. Visit healthcare.gov today to see if you're eligible to enroll. Limited time to enroll. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Low energy, brain fog, or bloating? Your body might need a detox. Active Liver from New Nordic makes it easy to help your liver detox your body all year long without major changes to your diet or lifestyle.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Looking at partly cloudy skies today, temperatures approaching that 80-degree mark. Not as warm tomorrow, but still pretty mild. 78 on your Halloween. We are tracking a cold front that will bring showers and thunderstorms between 2 p.m. and 9 p.m. on Halloween. It cools off on Friday with highs only around 60. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 weather impact forecasts on 97.1 The Fan.
If you love a good pie analogy,
think of the cap as a pie, and once you take out one piece, there's less left for the next guy.
Then this is the radio show for you. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
And still dying to get your Hey Guys questions into Reese at 971 BFS. We will answer those coming up at 11 o'clock. Tyvis Powell in with us today as well. We used to do this thing, AR and I, years ago when we did the Bishop and Rothman show called Translating Tress. And we would listen to the Tress press conference, and then we would say, here's what he's actually saying. And then when Tress left, it became urban intelligence. The problem was Urban just said exactly what he felt. There wasn't a whole lot of sugarcoating of anything. I'm guessing that was similar to play for him.
Yeah.
Pretty direct.
I told you, the worst conversation we had was after my red shirt year. He straight up told me, you need to transfer out here because I don't think you're good enough to play here. Just straight like that. Boom. Straight to the point.
Called you in.
I was like, man.
He just called. Was it like postseason meetings?
Yeah.
He just called you guys in individually. You get a time. You're going to meet with me at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
You walk in. Hey, Tyvis, great to see you. And he says that.
Yeah. I appreciate it. I like a straight shooter.
So how did you respond to that?
I told him, with all due respect, my dream is to play at Ohio State, and I'm not going anywhere. And January came around, I came in there, and I worked as hard as I've ever done. And when spring ball came around, I was a starting nickel, and the rest is history.
Pretty good lesson, kids, for your kids out there, about someone telling you can't do something and then saying, oh, watch me. Good job out of you. The reason I bring up translating Tress and urban intelligence is because when you have someone like Chip Kelly, who has been a head coach at Oregon, 2 different stops in the NFL, including a pressure cooker in Philly that is as pressure as there is, coaching the Eagles, and the amount of scrutiny that you take there, you find a way to talk to the media and give them a little bit while also not making a lot of headlines. That's usually what those guys try to do, is what that is. So when Chip's available, I like listening for where is the real truth in this? Where does the truth lie? So he was available yesterday. It's been well documented and well known, the Buckeyes struggles running the ball, especially in short yardage. Let's start, Reese, with the one where he's asked about establishing the run this week in Happy Valley.
We can't live with the way we ran the ball last week, and so that's part of what we have to do heading into this game, because you're going to have to win the rushing battle to win games in the Big Ten, so we certainly understand that. Again, like I said earlier, Penn State's defense is different than Nebraska's, so things that you would do against Penn State are different than things you would do against Nebraska, but you're right in that we have to establish a run in this game.
Do you believe him that you have to establish the run to win in the Big Ten?
Yes. Yes, that's the way this conference has been made up. Now, don't get me wrong. Ohio State's been successful being able to just throw the ball, and football is certainly transitioning to that. But at the end of the day, the more physical team, the team that runs the ball the best, typically goes on to win, a la the Wolverines last year.
Yeah, and I think sometimes around here that has gotten in our head a little bit. In terms of this notion of, because usually when you say you can't run the ball, the connotation is you're weak.
Yeah, that's exactly. Pretty much, yes.
You're soft.
You're a finesse guy.
You're a finesse guy. You're a finesse team, and you're not strong enough to win the battle up front. And I think it is true for this team to beat the best teams remaining on this schedule, and certainly Penn State would be in that category, beating Oregon in the Big Ten championship game, provided you get there. They would be in that category. You're going to need to be able to run some off it. I don't know that you need to run it twice as much as you throw it.
No. No, I wouldn't. Not if you're not having the success. And when he says, Nebraska, Penn State, or Nebraska poses certain threats that Penn State necessarily don't, to me, basically what he's saying is, I know a weakness. I've seen them get gashed in the run game, so I know ways that we could be effective in the run game to where, Nebraska really had a good, solid front seven, and we couldn't take advantage of it, even though we tried. That's, to me, what he said.
Yeah. So he was also asked about the offensive line. Here is Chip on the idea that you can execute even if the offensive line isn't at its best.
Yeah, they're where we need them to be right now because that's who we have. This isn't the National Football League where if you do lose somebody, you can go out to the waiver wire and go find another player at that position. You got to be able to handle it at your position. We've lost a really good one in Josh, and then everybody else is fighting and scrapping to stay in there. A bunch of guys, when you've played this many games during the season, are banged up and bruised up a little bit, but so aren't they? And that's the same thing that Penn State's probably dealing with, the same thing that we're dealing with. So it's part of the game, and we don't look at it as, boy, you got to feel sorry for us because we lost some players. That's the reality of what college football is, and it's a team that can survive and advance despite losing a player or two that are going to be successful.
Well, I think he nailed that. And one of the real eye-opening experiences for Buckeye fans, I talked about this last week and talked about it with a lot of the folks at the game on Saturday. Saturday at 4 o'clock when this goes final, if Ohio State is to reach its intended goals of winning a national championship, you'll be halfway. Wrap your head around that as a player. Can you imagine?
It's a long year.
Buddy, can you imagine, put yourself back in 14, 15, 13, any of those years, and you had played 8 battles, and you were turning the calendar to November, and you went and wrap your head around, in order for us to achieve everything that we want to, we got to do that again against much better competition.
Sounds like to me you find the same challenges that you see in the NFL. It's a long season, and you got to do a really good job of making sure that the depth on your team is ready to go. And I think when Urban was here, that was one of the things. Power of the unit is what it was called. We have to have a lot of trust and have the faith that whoever's going in that game is going to get the job done. And that's why he spent so much time trying to develop young guys. After the funniest thing is after we would have our game Saturday, that Sunday practice, all the people that played obviously had like a little short practice. The guys that didn't play brought their equipment and they had a little soft mini game because he wanted to get them game reps. So if we ever need them, they can go in there and it wouldn't be like, oh, this is foreign to me. So they had a mini game. I was a part of it a couple of times, especially my red shirt year. And, when guys went down, that's why you had seen so much success from backups going in there. And right now, that's where Ohio State is. You got to depend on some of these backups to step up and go in there and get things done. We can't look at this and say, oh, we can't get it done because this guy is out of the lineup. This is Ohio State. That can't be the answer. So that's where the development part and making sure that these guys is ready plays a huge part in these Saturdays.
It's going to be quality of depth. Because we're not covering Texas and Georgia, so I don't know the intricacies of their rosters or where their injuries are. We'll pay close attention to Oregon if we get to see them again in the Big Ten championship game. Penn State is dealing with a quarterback injury right now for this game on Saturday. So it will be the quality of depth you have, and it's everything you just said. It is going to be an NFL mindset. You do stuff for the Cleveland Browns on the radio network. Mm-hmm. Last year when they made the postseason, they were playing their 5th and 6th tackles.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's part of what you're headed for. Jake Trotter on the college football side of things coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Here's a listener tweet. Can I tase Common Man in the nuts? Fine by us, but he may like it. Common Man and Tebow.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
The Fan.
Men, you already know that as we age, low testosterone can cause many issues, including decreased energy, bad sleep, a lower sex drive, and more. And if you're like most men, getting treated for low T can truly change your life. But it's also important where you get treated because your health matters, and a quality medical practice that has true expertise in men's sexual health can help you get the best outcome. This is Jeff. Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, the leader in treating low T and other men's sexual health issues in the area. And if you're feeling like I just described and haven't yet sought treatment, or if you're not satisfied with the treatment you're currently receiving, I'd invite you to call us. At Tri-State Men's Health, our expertise is men's sexual health. It's all we do. We've successfully treated thousands of men for low T, and we offer a true 5-star experience that is like no other. If you're like most men, you'll be astounded at our service and at the results of our treatments. So make an appointment today. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Active military or veteran planning your next career move? Start at Columbus State Community College. Columbus State equips you with the skills to launch a high-tech career in Columbus's fastest-growing fields, including cybersecurity, software development, and more. That's why employers fueling Central Ohio's tech boom hire our graduates. Plus, our veteran services team will help you maximize your benefits and connect to a supportive campus community. Take the first step. Apply at cscc.edu/IT.
Skyline is serving up special Halloween ways made with orange noodles this Wednesday and Thursday only. Stop in for Skyline Halloween ways or pick them up and take them home. October 30th and 31st only at participating Skyline restaurants while supplies last.
Busy schedule? This is Ryan Krieger, and Krieger Ford has you covered. Krieger Ford offers pickup and delivery, or our mobile service van will come right to you. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Schedule your appointment today only at KriegerFord.com.
Bo Bishop here. Join us for the Make a Difference Gala, High Bank Distillery, November 12th. It's bourbon, food, and fun with Brady Quinn, Bobby Carpenter, and me. The gala benefits the Third and Goal Foundation, making a difference in the lives of veterans. Get your tickets today at 971thefan.com. 21 or older, please drink responsibly.
Hey folks, Austin Ward here, and we all know consistency is key in sports. Think about it. No matter how many points you put up in one game, it's the team that stays consistent that ends up winning a championship. The problem? Consistency is hard. For years, that's how I felt about my weight. I'd start strong, but could never stay the course. Then I found Awaken 180 weight loss, and now consistency isn't just a word, it's my reality. Let's take a look at the scoreboard. After dropping 12 pounds in my first week, I went on to lose 52 pounds total. Lost weight every week. Since then, the scoreboard has read the same every single month. October, 189 pounds. September, 189 pounds. August, 190. Okay, maybe a pound off. July, 189. The weight just stays off, and for free. Awaken 180 clients don't pay a dime in free maintenance for life. It's like free oil changes for the rest of your life. If you're looking for results that last, do what we all did and choose the solution for weight loss. It's online at awaken180weightloss.com.
I didn't expect to, but I need to get a new health insurance plan. The good news is I found Health Markets. I went to healthmarkets.com and saw plans available in my area. They have access to more than 200 carriers across the country. And if you need help, you can just speak with a licensed insurance agent. It's all right there for you.
Discover the advantages of real personalized service today at healthmarkets.com. Health Markets Insurance Agency, Inc. is licensed as an insurance agency nationwide except in Massachusetts. Paid actor per trail.
Nothing makes being outdoors better than having the right gear and the right crew. So here's an idea. Let Mountain Dew supply the gear and you bring the friends. Because when you buy specially marked multi-packs of Mountain Dew, you can collect points and earn epic limited edition outdoor gear. We're talking everything from custom Mountain Dew camp chairs and backpack coolers to exclusive Mountain Dew tents, fishing boats, and more. So buy Dew, collect points, get gear, and get outside with Mountain Dew outdoor gear.
Open to legal U.S. residents 18+, subject to program terms at dooutdoors.com and 12/31/24, void or prohibited.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Fast, sustainable weight loss without medications. The solution for weight loss. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Let me introduce you to a man with a magnificent salt and pepper beard. A man who's currently roasting lamb on a spit. A man who runs the Rocky River Greek Festival. That man is Jake Trotter.
Indeed it is, and he joins on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Jake, thanks so much for taking the time. We're 8 games in, 8 games in, depending on where you are in college football. If your team is going to win a national championship, you're at the halfway point here in late October, which is a little hard to wrap our head around. Big picture, I'm curious what you make of the fact that for all of the teams that we kind of said separated from a talent standpoint, week in and week out, we are not seeing the blowouts that we thought that we would. Texas struggling with Vanderbilt, Buckeyes struggling with Nebraska. We've had Georgia struggle at Kentucky. Oregon struggled early in the year. Is there one common thread that ties it together that you've noticed?
Yeah, we do have parity, Bo, especially at the top. Like even so, who's the number 1 team in the country? Oregon. Would anybody pick Oregon to win the national championship today? I mean, I guess some people would, but they don't appear to be what I would call an overwhelming favorite. And as I was trying to do my playoff projections on Saturday night, there's like 19 teams you could make the case for. Mm-hmm. I mean, it is really crazy how many teams are still in the mix, but also like how many teams I could put like at the 6th seed and then like maybe they're the 15th seed. You know, it's really hard to sift through the contenders. And I think that, you know, in the transfer portal era, you've got a lot of different guys that are trying to acclimate, and sometimes that leads to a little bit of inconsistency. You know, we've seen that at times with Ohio State. We saw it with Oregon earlier this year. So I don't know. I don't know if there's like a through line across the board, but I do think that right now, I don't know that anybody is a lock to make the playoff. Maybe Oregon with the win over Ohio State. You know, probably Georgia, but it is not like years in the past where we knew like 2 or 3 teams, like those teams are in. It's just a question who the last 1 or 2 is going to be. I think it's pretty wide open going into November, and you know, even for Ohio State, I mean, right now, I would still make the case that they might even be the favorite to win the national championship. If they lose Saturday to Tyvus's Penn State Nittany Lions, they ain't any kind of guarantee to make the playoff either. So it is going to be, you're going to have to earn it in November.
Jake, first of all, you know, there's no way. I'm just going to say they're not going to lose that game. But what is the bigger loss for a team going into this game? Is it Josh Simmons for Ohio State, or if Drew Aller doesn't play for Penn State? Which one would be the bigger loss and affect the team?
Well, I mean, it would obviously be Drew Aller. I mean, he's their quarterback. He's top 10 nationally in QBR. He's really been terrific all season. He brings a lot of different skill sets to the quarterback position. Like, he can run the ball. He's accurate. He can throw the ball downfield. And he's got a little bit of experience now in his second season. They have a very capable backup that they've used at times in some wrinkle packages, quarterback run game. Bo played really well. I was actually in Madison for that game. He played well. I think Drew, that was the national championship. I think Drew would have played. I think he's going to play Saturday. The question is he going to be limited mobility-wise with that left knee injury? Like, is he going to be the guy we've seen, or are they going to be able to bottle him up in the pocket? That could be a real key for Ohio State. And answer your question, Tyvus, it's not like the injuries up front on the offensive line haven't been impactful for the Buckeyes either. I did not foresee the Simmons injury being this big of a deal, even though he was getting a lot of NFL draft chatter and will continue to do so. It's like a potential first round pick, before he went down. But now with with their backup left tackle being banged up, they're really having to shuffle some pieces around. And I think that, the one thing with the Ohio State offense that has waned a little bit here lately is just the lack of pop in the running game. They were running the ball so well earlier in the year. They got outrushed by Oregon, and then against Nebraska, I want to say Travion and Quinshon combined for like 50 yards on 20 carries.
Yeah.
Now, that's not going to get it done. So can they reestablish the running game with the revamped offensive line? That's what I'm going to be looking at from Ohio State. And then, from Penn State's perspective, can Aller still move around if he does, in fact, play?
Yeah, I changed after watching him Saturday, Jake, to I think you and I were on the same page. Like, if Ohio State was going to win a national championship, it was going to be bludgeoning. It was going to be the two backs. It was going to be Will. It was going to be running it right down. I don't think they have any confidence. They were 1 of 10 on third down in the game against Nebraska, and a lot of it was short yardage thirds down. I think if this team's going to accomplish its goals now, it's going to have to be on the arm of Will Howard and those incredibly talented receivers. And I think that's probably what you're going to see. You saw that Penn State defense. Obviously, Abdul Carter's a star, and he can get after anybody. But Wisconsin did have some success in the pass game, in the game in Madison.
Yeah, I've seen Penn State in person a couple of times now, and where they're a little bit susceptible just based on the way their defensive scheme is set up is some of those RPO quick passes. You can get them there. Those RPO quick slants. And I think if you can, loosen up the defense a little bit with the running game, that's going to be even more so there. But yeah, that's a really good defense. And where you don't want to be with Abdul is 3rd and 9. That's not where you want to be with these guys. Now, Jeremiah and Emeka could go make plays downfield in whatever circumstance. But, Penn State wants to stop the run early and then get after the quarterback with blitzes and their excellent pass rushers on 3rd and long. So if you're Ohio State, can you get to 2nd and 4? And that's going to be, again, you just said they're going to have to rely on Will. I think they've got to get the running game going a little bit again. They're just – those backs are too talented. It's too much in the DNA of what Chip Kelly wants to do for them to abandon it. So I think 10, can Ohio State win those downs? If they're able to, then I think 3rd down will take care of itself.
Jake, when you look at this Penn State offense, they have a lot of weapons there. Obviously in years past, it's always been the rushing attack, but they got some receivers stepping up. But the number one threat in the passing attack has been Tyler Warren. What do you see from him, and how do you think the Buckeyes stop him?
Yeah, I wrote about Tyler today on the college football page on ESPN.com. He is quickly becoming a first-round caliber talent. He can do it all. They'll put him at quarterback and have him run the ball. They put him at quarterback and had him throw the ball. He's a former high school quarterback out of Mechanicsville, Virginia. He will, be part of some of their trick play packages. They had the one against USC where he snaps the ball to the backup quarterback. He throws out to the left to Aller. And then Tyler Warren ran down the field and just mossed somebody for a 32-yard touchdown in that game. So he is multidimensional, and what makes it tough is they put him everywhere. So it's not like you can just say, Sonny, you got him, or Caleb, you got him. He's going to be moving around quite a bit, and so it's going to take the entire Ohio State defense to just be aware of where he is at all times and know that they're going to be going to him a lot in this game. He had 17 catches in the game earlier this season. That is an FBS tight end record. You take him out, it becomes a lot more difficult for Penn State to move the ball.
Jake, I'll get you out of here on this one. Talking to ESPN's Jake Trotter, national college football writer on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Next week, when we're talking about this college football playoff poll, how do you think the committee handles the Southeastern Conference? And the reason I ask, there is not an undefeated team in that league. There are only 4 teams with 1 loss. And by the way, Georgia plays Tennessee and Texas plays Texas A&M. So 2 of them are going to have at least 2 losses. What are they going to do with them?
I think the barometer is going to be, where do they put Alabama? Do they put Alabama 7, 8, 9, maybe even higher, or is Alabama a little bit lower? With the 2 losses, the great win over Georgia, even though that was a pretty weird finish. You could say we're going to have 8 SEC teams in the top 15, or we're going to have 4. I don't know how they're going to look at all these teams. And right now, when you're trying to do this playoff projection, the SEC is where it's really difficult because think Big Ten, you've got the four. You've got Oregon, Ohio State, Penn State, Indiana. Pretty cut and dry. Big 12, ACC, you've got, you usually have three teams, and it's some combination of, Clemson, Miami, maybe Pitt, the way that they've been playing. And in the Big 12, you've got Iowa State and BYU, the two undefeateds. And then Boise, obviously, is the group of five, and then, maybe Army or somebody can get in the mix. But then the SEC, it's like comparing Georgia, Texas A&M, LSU before they lost the other night, Tennessee. Yeah. It is really a challenge. And then you have Notre Dame on top of it, which is quietly, getting back into the mix. So I think the SEC is going to get four teams, but I have no idea who those four teams are going to be. I expect that to be reflected in the playoff rankings. But as we know, the SEC typically gets the benefit of the doubt in that boardroom. And I wouldn't be stunned either if we're like, man, Alabama is 8th and, Ole Miss is 12th. And, teams that have lost multiple games are higher than what we would have guessed going in.
Yeah, I think you may be right on that one, buddy. Always enjoy the conversation. Thanks for your time.
All right, guys. Good to talk to y'all. Take care.
All right, Jake Trotter, senior college football writer at ESPN. We hit Thing or Not a Thing up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic. Oh, yes. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The Christmas cash giveaways now at UDF. With UDrive Plus, 1 in 7 can play to win prizes instantly, including $1,000 weekly by buying specially marked items at UDF. No purchase necessary. Visit udrivecontest.com for official rules.
Dormar, your climate hero.
Dorn, what's that guy yelling about in my noisemaker?
Dormar, your climate hero.
Your climate hero, you fossil?
What's a climate hero?
That's Dormar, our same-day heating and AC company we've used for 60 years.
Who?
Dormar, your climate hero.
Come on, Dad, you laugh every time you hear their tidy-whitey commercials.
Yep, those are funnier.
Dormar, your climate hero.
APCO Windows, Siding, and Decks. As a family company, my dad started in 1962. We don't rely on sales gimmicks, so get multiple estimates. Just make sure one of them is from APCO.
Absolutely, you can trust APCO.
APCO.com.
There was a time where I woke up every day and my knee kept bothering me. I wondered, would it ever get better? I'd like to go out and run. I'd like to go play golf. I'd like to hang out with my friends at the pool, go off the diving board, play with my kids, do the stuff that I want to do. I looked at having surgery, thought that's not the answer. Don't want to do that. I've had plenty of surgeries in my life. I didn't want to be on medication and just keep pounding ibuprofen and pain pills. That wasn't going to be the answer. So I want to get real, lasting relief. As thousands of patients will tell you. So I went over to QC Kinetics and talked to Dr. Ray Tesner. I even brought my dad with me and said, hey, he's got a bad knee too. He's at a little later stage in life. Could this work for him? QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in cellular therapies, including your own body's healing properties. That's what I wanted, to get healed up and do it the natural way. The choice is yours. So go check them out at qckinetics.com/Columbus. They've got offices in Dublin and in Gahanna, or call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
If you have an unhealthy obsession with the Blue Jackets, we have just the remedy. Join us Wednesday nights at 7 for the Inside Edge. All the Jackets and hockey conversation you can handle. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals with savings beyond low prices. Like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Right now in the meat department, you can save big on bone-in pork back ribs. They're on sale for just $3.49 a pound with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived. The only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, hockey. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com, and use promo code JUSTSPORTS to get a welcome bonus up to $100. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 or older and present in Ohio. If you or anyone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
As Cybersecurity Awareness Month winds down, LifeLock reminds you to update your software regularly.
These updates fix security flaws that could be exploited by identity thieves, but don't stop there. LifeLock offers comprehensive identity theft protection that goes the extra mile. LifeLock not only alerts you to suspicious use of your info, but also takes action to resolve identity theft issues, guaranteed, or your money back. Start your 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com. Use promo code NEWS. Terms apply.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Getting ready for more rain and longer nights? We've got you. Right now, you can earn up to $25 in bonus rewards when you buy 2 Sylvania Silver Star Ultra bulbs and 2 Rain-X Quantum Elite wiper blades. More rewards and better visibility at America's #1 lighting destination, AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Offer valid for AutoZone Rewards members. Restrictions apply.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. If you say something with enough confidence, it must be true. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, time for a little thing or not a thing on a first Friday. Hit it, Reese.
Thing or not a thing.
Sponsored by Apex Plumbing Pros.
I think it was earlier this week where Lions wide receiver Jameson Williams got popped for PEDs. Yeah. He's going to get suspended by the NFL. About 2 weeks ago, the ABC affiliate in Detroit reported this yesterday, that about 2 weeks ago, JMO was detained but not arrested for carrying a concealed weapon. Police in Detroit are investigating why Williams was not arrested after being found with a concealed weapon in his car during a traffic stop. So this happened shortly after midnight on Tuesday, October 8th. Williams and his brother were driving, pulled over for speeding, and upon approaching the driver's side of the vehicle, Williams' brother told police there were 2 guns in the car. Williams said that one was his and one was JMO's. Now, police found that the gun registered to Williams' brother had a license, but the gun that was registered to JMO did not. So they detained Williams, who on body cam footage could be seen and heard saying, "I play for the Lions, bro." They put JMO into the cop car, and they called a higher-ranking official, a sergeant, and he came to the scene. After discussion, a long conversation, again, it's all on body cam footage, Williams was released without incident. No police report was filed, but amid, again, an investigation, it submitted a warrant to request the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office for Williams, who might now face a charge of carrying a concealed weapon in a motor vehicle. Thing or not a thing?
I remember vividly James saying this when JMO transferred to Alabama and saying that, and I'm pretty sure he said it on the show, that the feeling in the wide receiver room that Jameson maybe was the most talented wide receiver of that room, and that's Garrett and Chris, and like that's a crazy room. But that there were stuff they always had to manage through in terms of his personality and decision making. So he goes to Alabama, he can't help the injury stuff that happened in Alabama, he can't help the injury stuff that happened with the Lions, but he tried to bet on not NFL games, tried to bet in the Lions facility. That's how he got pinched the first time. So there is a little bit of can't get right to him. And it's frustrating because the talent is absurd, and what he gives them is honestly could be the difference between them being a Super Bowl team or not, because he takes the top off the defense, and now he's got this to deal with along with everything else.
He's going to have one of those dudes that follow him around and be with him everywhere he goes to stop him, because he's showing that he can't make great decisions. And it is frustrating because he has talent, and I think you're right. You know, he stretches the field, and he was having a great year this year. Like, after all the suspensions and the injuries, like he was having a good year. And now he's like just throwing it away. And you got to listen, if the Lions care about him a lot, you got to get he's going to hate it, but it's going to help him make it to at least Sundays, and he can have a better life after. But you got to get somebody to be with him at all times, because like I said, he can't handle his decision making right now. It's just not the best right now. And you got to do what's best for him and also your organization.
There's a little Josh Gordon with him, different issues, but supreme talent. And then there comes a point where like the supreme talent and all the stuff starts to flip, and the stuff becomes the bigger problem, and then that's when you're done.
And then the gun thing, like, dude,
what are you doing?
Yeah, like
What are you doing?
It's not that hard to even get registered nowadays. Go get your license and buy the gun properly. Like, come on, man.
Fox Sports reported Monday's Game 3 of the World Series averaged more than 13.6 million viewers. That's up 63% from last year. It also beat Monday Night Football. So Game 3 got 13.6. Steelers-Giants 13.4 million. So Game 3 of the World Series on a sports equinox was the best performer from a numbers standpoint. Also, per Major League Baseball, the average World Series viewership in Japan is 15.1 million viewers. Thing or not a thing?
Yeah, they go ahead at. Go ahead.
My initial thought with 15.1 is that was really small because there's like 175 million people just in Tokyo. But then I started to think about it. Middle of the night, probably. Right? Because that's not DVR. That would be live. These games, or would they be happening in the morning, maybe? They might be happening in the middle of the morning.
So it's almost midnight.
Because it flips.
In Tokyo now.
Okay. So it's a 12-hour. So it's happening middle of the day. It's happening in the morning.
Yeah.
So an 8 o'clock East Coast time would happen in the middle of the morning in Tokyo.
Yeah, you're talking like 6 o'clock.
Yeah. Yeah, so that wins.
I mean, listen, you got two of the most popular franchises playing. Obviously, they're going to watch that. And it's been a good World Series. Like, it's been competitive. Yeah. Freddie Freeman, and they're hitting home runs. Aaron Judge got to step it up some more. But, guys are starting to do what they're supposed to do. So it's been entertaining is what I'm saying.
I think Game 1 set it off.
Yeah, the walk-off.
You walk off. Yeah, you walk off. Wanted to address something here in what was Chops' favorite segment, Thing or Not a Thing. Obviously, he hasn't been regularly with us for about a month now. It became official yesterday. He made a posting on his social media. You can seek that out and find it and read it. He is a great friend and was a great contributor to this program for many years before we went to Bishop and Friends to Bishop and Laurinaitis, and just wish him all the best in the world. Again, if you want the specifics for that in terms of how he came to that decision, his social media, he addressed those things. But he was a key contributor to the success we've had through the years here, and is someone I'm very proud of how far he came on this show and what's happened in his life. So we wish him nothing but the best going forward. But that he made that decision yesterday, and it became official yesterday. So just wanted to address that here on the program. Final hour on a First Friday coming up next. Hey, guys, up first, Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
If you haven't thought about Buckeye football today, I'm sorry to tell you that you're dead. Our condolences. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan.
We've seen it before. Politicians and lobbyists playing games, drawing voting maps to keep power in their hands, not ours. Courts have ruled Ohio's voting districts unconstitutional 7 times, while our communities have been left out again and again. But this November, you have a chance to change that with Issue 1. Issue 1 will make it illegal for politicians to manipulate voting districts for themselves or their own party. Instead, it creates an open, transparent process where a diverse group of citizens, not politicians, will draw the lines. No more backroom deals, no more gerrymandering, just fairer maps that represent our communities. Issue 1 gives you and me the power to ensure everyone's vote counts. This is about real change, a chance to end the games and make our voices heard. So vote yes on Issue 1, fair representation, and power to the people. Paid for by citizens, not politicians.
If you're struggling with ED or your performance is down and your belly fat is growing, listen up. You've got one life. Now is the time to act.
At the Columbus Men's Clinic, we're not just healthcare, we're your secret weapon. Don't wait another day. Here's why you need to act right now.
Every moment you delay, your condition could worsen. It's not just about sex, it's about your heart, your relationship, your life.
The Columbus Men's Clinic has over 10 years of proven results for low testosterone and increasing drive, energy level, and performance. We've introduced ED and enhancement treatments so exclusive, you'll wonder why you waited.
Procrastination is the thief of time. When it comes to your sexual health, you can't afford to wait. Join the League of Gentlemen who've walked out of our doors with a swagger.
Call the Columbus Men's Clinic at 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. Book your $99 male performance consultation now, including blood work. Call 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. The Columbus Men's Clinic, making it happen.
Common Man here for Care Heating and Cooling. Weather is unpredictable, but the inside of your home should be comfortable just the way you like it. And the best way to avoid those unnecessary surprises is with a care plan. See, with a care plan, you get priority service, system maintenance in case of an emergency. Just another way to give you and your family peace of mind. And maintaining your systems properly can help save you money. A properly maintained furnace and air conditioner run more efficiently, reducing your utility usage. Regular maintenance also prevents breakdowns and extends the life of your equipment. I'm on the care plan, and I'm quite the expert. I'll stop by and give your system a once-over. I will. Don't tempt me. I end every commercial the same way, telling you to hire Care when you need a company you can trust. It's not just a slogan. That's the Care creed. How about this? Lennox. They have thousands of dealers nationwide. HVAC royalty. Last year, Lennox gave Care their coveted Partner of the Year award because they're trusted by their customers and their partners. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com when you need a company you can trust.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. The Blue Jackets are back on home ice tonight, hosting the New York Islanders. Face-off from nationwide 7 p.m. We'll have it on the Fan with pregame coverage at 6:30. Elvis Merzlikins looks to get the nod in net. Jackets have 4 wins through 8 games and have scored 6 goals in each of those victories. Columbus will host Winnipeg on Friday. In college football, number 4 Ohio State's a 3.5-point road favorite Saturday at number 3 Penn State. Kickoff from Happy Valley is set for noon. You can hear from OSU's head coach tomorrow at noon on the Ryan Day Show. Buckeyes will host Purdue next Saturday. The time for that kick still be determined. In baseball tonight, the Yankees host the Dodgers in Game 5 of the World Series. New York stayed alive with an 11-4 win last night in Game 4. They need a win tonight to force a Game 5 on Thursday. This update sponsored by Dormar Heating and Air Conditioning. Need an emergency repair? Dormar can be there today, guaranteed. Visit them at dormarheating.com. Breaking sports news when it happens on the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
With friends like these, who needs former college football players? This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, final hour here on a First Friday. Get your officially endorsed coming up at the end of the program. Shelly time at 11:33. Time now for a little Hey Guys. Hit it, fellas.
Nothing is off limits. Your participation is required. Just use the hashtag #HeyGuys and ask anything you want. Do it now.
Sponsored by High Bank Distillery, home of the best blended whiskey in America. Grab a bottle or dine in at their 2 restaurant locations in Grandview and Gahanna. Drink local, drink High Bank.
And of course, when you're talking about High Bank, you're talking about that best blended whiskey in America. There are 3 locations, Grandview, Gahanna, and Westerville. Enjoy the award-winning spirits for your next happy hour. Make your reservation at highbankco.com. Drink local, drink High Bank. Best question here gets the $50 High Bank gift card and the free distillery tour and the tasting for up to 10. Reese?
So the cool thing about being on YouTube, and if you hadn't heard, the Fan is on YouTube, is I can do these in real time. So if you do want to ask a question to the YouTube chat, please do so. And if it's not colorful, I can read it on the air. But don't use swear words, please. It's a family program. Phil asks, hashtag, hey guys, with Anthony Richardson's benching, it made me think of the times I got my butt chewed out by my coaches. What was the worst a coach or parent ever got on you for? And then he adds, did it make you better?
Well, mine is frivolous nonsense, and Tyvis's is probably going to be something at a high level. It was my freshman year playing JV basketball. We were playing the Augusta Elks, and I was had it going a little bit from deep, and I hit a couple of threes, and they were kind of jawing a little bit to me. And so I hit I want to say it was the 4-3 I hit in the first half. I hit the 4-3 and I did like guns. Like this. and my coach promptly pulled me to the bench, yelled at me for 5 to 10, and then continued to not let me play the rest of the game. And then all I did the next practice was run. I just ran. That was it. And that was the end of that.
Well,
it was old school in those days, boys. Old school.
Well, in my life, being the guy that I am, I have multiple chewings, I think on every level, starting Muni League to high school to college to the NFL. I've been chewed out pretty much by every coach that I've ever had in my life. But the one that always comes to mind is the one I think I hit on a couple of weeks ago, the national championship one, when I gave up that touchdown in the post. Because the reason that one was the worst is because I got chewed out twice, all in a 2-minute standpoint. You give up the play. You already down on yourself. You come to the sideline and you got to deal with Urban Meyer. He goes on his little rant, and it's just like, all right, I messed up. I get it.
Yeah.
And then you sit down and you try and explain to your friends, and then they say, your coach is on the phone. He want to talk to you. Then you get on the phone and you got to hear him chew you out again. And it's just like, all right, I get it. I'm the worst football player that's ever played the game. I get it. Yes, that's what we've made it emphatically clear that I am terrible. I have no business being out here. I don't know what I'm doing. Yes, that's how I felt. But
what was the play?
The Oregon touchdown where I think he ran a post route, and I was supposed to be in cover 3. I was supposed to be in the post, but I jumped a shallow cross.
I see.
And they scored on it, and it was World War III on the sideline.
All right, we got a bunch of Halloween-themed ones, obviously, that is tomorrow. Ace asks, name the absolute best Halloween candy and the absolute worst Halloween candy.
Oh, this is easy. A Reese's and an Almond Joy. But if you're going to give me it's got to be king-size candy bars. The best thing about trick-or-treating is you found out what houses was giving out full-size candy bars.
Yeah.
And you would switch up with your buddy. You switch outfits, and then you go right back and hit it again. If they give me an Almond Joy, it's immediately getting tossed out of my bucket.
No coconut for you.
No.
I enjoy an Almond Joy. The ones that I raid from the kids are the bite-sized Snickers. And then I put them in the freezer. And they are a delicious delight.
You take your kids' candy?
Of course I do.
Got a tax.
Come on, man. There's a tax. There's a tax on it. I'll tell you, I'm not much for the candy, like the sour stuff. I don't think anyone has the audacity to hand out the candy corn anymore. I never see that in the boys' bags. That stuff's a joke. Yeah. I think it's lazy to hand out just a plain Hershey bar at this point. We've evolved. I think that's a little bit lazy.
If it's a full-size bar, no, it's not lazy.
Well, I guess you can use it in the s'mores.
It's big-hearted is what it is.
Yeah. Well, or you're showing off. One of the two. I'm old enough to remember a time when there was a woman, an older lady in this town. We'd go into town and trick-or-treat, who would make homemade chocolate glazed donuts. She would make a couple of sheets of them, and you had to get there quick or else she was gone. Now, you can't do that. You feel like the kids are going to get poisoned or eat a razor blade. But in those days, you could trust that they would do it right, and those were game changers.
All right, Brock asks one that kind of pulls at my heartstrings, and probably, Bo, yours as well. If you could guarantee, #HeyGuys, a Blue Jackets Stanley Cup this year,
oh baby,
but you had to pick either to not watch a single college football game for the rest of the season or a single NFL game for the rest of the season, would you do it, and what would you choose?
I'd give up the NFL for that.
Same.
Tomorrow. I would not give up college football. College football is my favorite thing on the planet, but I could give up the NFL. I'd be fine. I could still know what was going on. I'd follow it. I could be okay giving up the NFL, and I would do it. I would absolutely do it, because here's what the diehards know it, but and we got a little taste of it when we beat Tampa. And we were talking a little bit man, maybe this team could go win the cup. And they won a game in Boston. It was okay, let's go. What you get when your team in your town makes a run is community buy-in unlike anything you've ever seen in your life. It's all anyone's doing. And here, if that happened, electric. You saw it in Cleveland when they had LeBron. When you make a run like that, the whole town embraces it. It's a lot of fun when it happens. So I would do it.
Well, the problem is, I got a dilemma here.
Yeah, careful.
Wait a minute. I got a dilemma because I got jobs that concern me actually watching both. So this is interesting. One, I definitely want to see the Blue Jackets win the cup. So I would definitely choose one. Because the Big Ten pays me more, I would go with that one. And, Saturdays is more successful than Sundays as a Browns fan. So I think I'm about happiness. When you get 30, it's about, you want to be happy with life.
Happy, baby.
So I'm definitely going to give up the NFL and go college only.
All right, another spooky season question comes from Brian on Twitter. Hashtag, hey guys, if you were in a scary movie, what movie would you choose?
If I was in can I pick scary movies because it's a comedy?
I'll tell you.
Sure.
If you remember the cast of I Know What You Did Last Summer, it wouldn't be the worst thing to be the male lead in that.
Yeah, you got a point.
That's old school now. That's old school, but you'd do all right in that scenario.
I would definitely pick one that I'm going to live. It's something about Michael Myers though that I actually would want to see him, because if it's like, Bo, hear me out. If he was going to
think you could cover him,
no, that's not it. But like I'm one of those guys that in the moment I would be so funny and joking about the whole thing that I would have a good laugh before he gets rid of me.
Yeah.
So
have a
I
little
think
fun with it.
It would be iconic to be like, come on now, spare me. I'm your friend, all those things. And to see him in person, that would actually be interesting to me. And I would run, Eric. I would run, and I would not trip and fall. Let's just say that.
Do you know what I did to my kids last year? I don't know how I didn't record this.
What did you?
So they're, unbeknownst to any of them, I had bought a Michael Myers mask.
Okay.
So they're in the foyer of our house, counting their candy and trading their candy. I sneak out the back. I put the mask on. I go to the window and I knock. It was, if it would have been on camera, it would have been, the only thing I regret is I did not have my wife record it. Beamsy dropped. He was standing up. He dropped like a ball and just started bawling. NBC, at the time 11, just threw his candy in the air and bolted upstairs. Bootsy, at the time 7, sprinted to my wife and just started bawling. I had to come in and no, it's Dad, it's Dad, it's Dad. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. So much so that they're still terrified of the mask. I hid it in a place. I was going to get him again. I found out, I blame my wife for this. I thought maybe she threw it away. I finally found out yesterday, Beamsy took it and threw it away. Done with it. So I'm going to take this year off, and then next year I'm coming back as Freddy Krueger. And I'm going to have it recorded.
With the claws, you wrap on the window?
That's your idea. You get credit for that. I'm going to click,
diabolical.
But I'm going to have her record. So this year they know it's coming, so I'm not going to do it this year. So I'm going to skip a year and then next year. In fact, they booed our neighborhood last night, and they were like, Dad, will you please come? Because they were so worried that I would attack them at some point while they were out booing the neighborhood.
I couldn't do that to my daughters. My daughter have a hard time now. She's scared of everything now, and she would never go to sleep again by herself.
Do you know what my penalty for it was? My penance?
What is it?
The 2 little guys end up sleeping with my wife and I for 2.5 weeks. So that was the payoff. Yeah. That was my penance for it. Yeah. They were terrified. They couldn't even sleep anymore.
All right, let's pick a winner here.
Jeez. Oh, man. Let's see. Was it Brock?
Brock asked the hypothetical of the
Blue Jackets?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We love the Jackets here.
Yeah, and I think, all right, so Brock, congratulations. You get the $50 gift card to our great friends at High Bank. You get the free distillery tour and tasting for up to 10. High Bank, of course, the best blended whiskey in America, 3 years running. It's located right here in town. Stop by High Bank's 3 locations, Grandview, Gahanna, Westerville. Enjoy their award-winning spirits for your next happy hour. Make your reservation at highbankco.com. Drink local, drink High Bank. The Jason mask or the Kruger? The one I can't do is the clown one. If I do that Pennywise, I do that. Beamsy can't take clowns. He can't take clowns. He can't take Cat in the Hat.
Why does kids feel that way about clowns?
Well, when I was a kid, clowns were fun, but now they're terrifying.
Yeah, that's how my wife is like that. She's about to be 31, and she still is a little bit scared of clowns.
When is the last time you saw a clown? You have 2 young girls. Yes. When's the last time you saw a clown at a birthday party?
Actually, it's been a very long since I was a kid, maybe.
Never.
Yeah.
Not since I was a kid.
Yeah.
And they were pretty omnipresent when I was a kid. For the kids out there, you used to go to McDonald's, and there was someone sometimes
McDonald.
dressed up as Ronald McDonald.
Yeah.
But now he's not around, unless you go to the hospital.
Pennywise,
but no one wants to see a clown.
Pennywise ruined it like that for
ruined
everybody.
Clowns. Pennywise ruined clowns. Put it on the poll, Reese. Did Pennywise ruin clowns? I think the answer to that is going to be yes. I think it's going to be yes. We'll go around the NFL coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Death, taxes, and beating Michigan every damn year. This is your flagship home for Ohio State football. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
A vote for Sherrod Brown is a vote against Donald Trump. Sherrod Brown has spent 31 years in Washington, D.C., backing radical liberal policies.
Late-term partial birth abortion, where the baby is partially delivered alive. Trans biological men in girls' sports and bathrooms. Puberty blockers and even sex change surgery for children. Amnesty for 11 million illegal immigrants.
Brown's liberal policies are the opposite of the Trump agenda, and Brown would oppose Trump at every turn. To undo the damage of the last 4 years, President Trump and Ohio need Republican Bernie Moreno in the Senate. 6 more years of Sherrod Brown? He's for they, them, not you. Sherrod Brown has let us down. He's way too liberal for Ohio.
Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
Get all your holiday shopping done in just one stop with early holiday deals at Meijer. Save big this week on gifts for everyone. For the competitive ones on your list, select puzzles and board games are buy 2, get 1 free. Share the scent of the season with Yankee Candle products. Buy 1, get 1 for $1. And for those who believe that bigger is always better, save $200 on an Element 65-inch Zumo TV. Shop even more great gift ideas like these in the Meijer Holiday Gift Guide. Available on Meijer.com, in-store, or in the Meijer app. Exclusions apply.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change will help ease your oil change-anxiety. Picture an oil change that's quick, not rushed. When you hear the bell, feel yourself becoming light as a feather. Now, let go of your oil change-anxiety. Visit Valvoline Instant Oil Change today. No automotive worry, no appointment needed.
Most radio stations suck. Here's why. They don't invest in local programming. We're live and local 14 hours a day. You can rest assured that every stupid thing we say is 100% local. Homegrown dumb since day one. The Fan.
As Cybersecurity Awareness Month winds down, LifeLock reminds you to update your software regularly. These updates fix security flaws that could be exploited by identity thieves. But don't stop there. LifeLock offers comprehensive identity theft protection that goes the extra mile. LifeLock not only alerts you to suspicious use of your info, but also takes action to resolve identity theft issues, guaranteed, or your money back. Start your 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com. Use promo code NEWS. Terms apply.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Getting ready for more rain and longer nights? We've got you. Right now, you can earn up to $25 in bonus rewards when you buy 2 Sylvania Silver Star Ultra bulbs and 2 Rain-X Quantum Elite wiper blades. More rewards and better visibility at America's #1 lighting destination, AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Offer valid for AutoZone Rewards members. Restrictions apply.
Democrats will do anything to win. Changing the rules, mail-in ballots, cheating, and even opening our borders, all to win at any cost. Now they have a new scheme, Issue 1. Issue 1 would create a redistricting commission aimed at overturning key protections against gerrymandering in Ohio. Protections approved by over 70% of Ohio voters to prevent this exact kind of political manipulation of voting districts. And the members of this mysterious commission are backed by foreign special interest groups. They're unelected, unaccountable, and completely beyond voter control. If they abuse their power, there's no way to vote them out or hold them responsible. Their only purpose is to take control of Ohio's politics and turn the state from red to blue. This isn't democracy, it's deception. Don't let the Dems continue to rewrite the rules to rig the system in their favor. Protect Ohio's voice. Vote no on Issue 1. Paid for by Ohio Works.
Is thinning hair or a receding hairline making you self-conscious? Try Hair Grow from New Nordic. Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start feeling your best with Hair Grow.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Heading through today, it's another warm one. We're going 80 for the high temperature. Plenty of sunshine expected this afternoon. Partly cloudy tonight, lows around 60. Warm on your Halloween, high 78. Increasing clouds with a few late day showers. We'll be looking at rain moving in between 2 p.m. and 9 p.m. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 weather impact forecasts on 97.1 The Fan.
Keep your friends close and your producers closer. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Well, this is something we've been working on for a long time, and it is getting closer now. There's still time for you to get in on it. It is our big Make a Difference Gala. It is coming up. Join us. It's going to be awesome. It's Tuesday, November 12th. It's at High Bank in Grandview. We invite you to the release of our exclusive fan barrel picks. These are my picks. I was in on these picks. You're going to love them. 3 very distinct flavors. These are barrel selections with Adam at High Bank, who quite honestly is a genius when it comes to the blending of whiskeys. Proceeds benefit Brady Quinn's Third and Goal Foundation. Brady will be there. AJ will be there. All sorts of folks. Bob as well. Proceeds benefit Brady's Third and Goal Foundation. Make a difference in the lives of veterans. Enjoy exclusive barrel picks, delicious food pairings, live music, and a meet and greet with select athletes. For tickets and more information, head to 971thefan.com. Must be 21 or older, and please drink responsibly on that. We were talking about you put it up on the poll. Did Pennywise ruin clowns? It's winning with 72% of the vote early, that it did, in fact, ruin clowns. And then the great unknown stuntman with John Wayne Gacy on line 1 for you. So I know who John Wayne Gacy is. He's a serial killer from back in the day. Did you guys know who he was?
Never heard of him.
I've heard of him, not entirely familiar with what he did other than murder.
Yeah. So I think it's a generational thing. I knew Ted Bundy, I knew John Wayne Gacy, I knew all those guys. I knew who those serial killers were. Not that I'm advocating for more of them, but it was something that was pretty. The Boston Strangler. I mean, there were so many of those that I was aware of as a kid. I don't know if they're in the pop culture zeitgeist at all anymore, in terms of knowing unless like Netflix does Mindhunter or something like that and brings it back. I don't think it's stuff that gets talked about at all.
Yeah, I mean, nowadays I think the world is shifting to a more peaceful place. So I don't think they want to. I don't think they want to go back to that. At least they're trying to. They're making an attempt to try.
We're working on it.
Yeah,
we're working on it.
It's been an uphill battle.
Makes me think that maybe that they snuffed this out pretty quick. And in the old days, maybe it was much harder to track these things down. I bet DNA had a lot to do with it. Where now they're able to, something happens, they can get it sorted out pretty quickly. Where in those days, you couldn't. Things would go on for years. Yeah. Some of these things.
Mm-hmm.
All right, around the NFL. Obviously, the story of the week in the league was the benching of Anthony Richardson in Indy and the promotion of Joe Flacco. I'm going to just put this to you as a guy who played a lot of ball in college and in pro. Is there a roadmap for Anthony Richardson returning to be the starting quarterback in Indianapolis this year?
No. Yeah, it is one. If Joe Flacco,
injury.
Yeah, Joe Flacco gets hurt, yes. But I think this was a locker room decision. I mean, think about like how when I heard him say, "I was tired," I just thought to myself, like, you don't think your offensive line is tired? You don't think those receivers is tired? I play defense. You don't think the D-line gets tired? You don't think DBs, after running around chasing these receivers, you don't think we tired? We never, ever can tap out. It's the visual part of him literally tapping his helmet like, get me out. It's unheard of. It's unheard of. I think I would look at him differently, too, if I was a player on that roster, because it's like, dude, like, I don't even do that, and I'm tired. Like a D lineman gets held probably 98% of the time. It's a fight in the trenches, and they take every snap. Maybe not the D line, they rotate, but the offensive line it sits there every snap, and they never ask to be taken out the game. So yeah, how can I go to war with you? It's hard. It's hard. And when things get tough, you tapping out. Like I can't respect that right now.
All right, the natural follow-up then would be, if that is the case, would it still be the case if he was playing like Jaden Daniels?
If he was like Jaden Daniels.
If he was that good and he did it. Like if Jaden Daniels tapped out.
I'd still have a problem with it, but
because his performance is a part of it.
It'd be more acceptable.
He was like 10 of 28 in the game on Sunday. He's completing 44% of his passes, folks. 44% of his passes.
Yeah, but
this is what happens, Tyvis.
Y'all act like y'all shocked by this.
I'm not, but this is, and I know you're not because you've said this too. Here's the reality of this. This is what happens when you draft a guy who started 6 games in college. He doesn't know
the combine.
He doesn't know what the requirement is of starting a full season of SEC play, let alone an NFL season. And Tyvis, the other thing he doesn't know is he doesn't know how to handle the media. One thing that you guys get a masterclass of here, and a lot of it has to do with Jerry. Jerry Emig is so good at his job.
Shout out to Jerry.
He's the best. You guys get every week an NFL press conference. Every week. You got 40 people on a beat asking you questions every week. So you get used to what you can say. And I didn't do this when you were a player. I did it when Threes was a player. Jerry would bring us in, and we would talk to the team. Now I'm sure they have a whole team of people who handle their social and all of those things. But back in those days, they didn't. They would bring us in to talk to y'all and say, here's how to handle this to where you get something out of it. And also don't make a fool and don't say something that becomes a headline.
Yeah, the best thing they always said was, if you get stumped or if they ask you something that you really can't say the answer to or you don't know how to answer, always revert back to your teammates. That's the best thing you could do, is go back to your teammates. When he said I was tired, first of all, he should have lied.
Should have lied.
He should have lied.
He should have said he cramped.
Something.
He should have cramped.
Anything.
I was cramping up.
Anything but that.
Anything but that. He should have just, if he was tired, he should have just went to the ground and act like he was cramping. That would have been fine.
He got a lot. He's got to grow. He shouldn't have been like I said, when they took him with the 3rd or 4th pick, wherever he was, I was like, I don't see it as a mistake. He needs time. He needs time. And that's a project. If he ever puts it together, obviously he has all the intangibles to be good, but you can't afford to continue to mess up your season trying to bank on this guy figuring it out, especially when Joe Flacco was in there. Everything looked completely good. Like it's almost like the Brown situation all over again. When Joe Flacco came in there, that offense took off. They was rolling. Yeah. People with receivers was eating, all those things. And then you went back to Anthony Richardson. He giving you, 10 of 28? Like, yeah.
Well, it's 44% completion percentage on the season.
Like, yeah, I can't. How am I going to go in there and sell that to 52 other guys? Like, it's hard.
No, this allowed Steichen an off-ramp because I don't know if there would have been one from ownership if this didn't happen. Yeah. They probably would have had to continue to play him. A couple other things around the league. Another injury for CJ in Houston. Stephon Diggs done for the year. Nico Collins is still on injured reserve. He's out at least 2 more games. Most of the receivers who could have been acquired have been acquired already. Talking about Devontae Adams, talking about Amari Cooper, and then yesterday the Ravens acquired Deontay Johnson, which to me is a clear signal that they're just saying, hey, man, we're going to have to outscore people because we're never going to be able to stop anybody. Can Houston really not attempt to find a receiver out there? Do you think they'll hold pat with where they are receiver-wise? It's a drastic difference even without Nico. Now Stephon either.
Yeah, I mean, Tank Dell, you got Tank Dell and what, Mechie? Is that the other guy?
John Mechie. Alabama kid.
I mean, the talent is cool, but you still need that veteran presence because these are 2 fairly young guys and, quite frankly, hasn't played a lot because Tank got injured. Mechie had the leukemia thing, so he was battling that. So these 2 haven't really been on the field a lot. You have to go seek a veteran, and unfortunately it's going to probably cost you a lot because as you get closer to the deadline, teams they know you're desperate. But I'm sure it's a guy out there maybe you spend and go get a Mike Thomas or something. I don't know how many games. I don't know if he can stay healthy for the rest of the season or not, but you got to get somebody that you can depend on that's been there, that knows what it takes to be successful every Sunday and things like that. I would not. CJ's special, but you got to help him out.
Well, I'll give you a name. Chris Olave.
No, you trade for Chris?
Well, he's in his third year. Next year will be his walk year. Then he'll have the club option.
Why would the Saints do that?
Just from the standpoint of they're not going anywhere anyway.
But
he's a piece.
Is he not their future?
I don't know. I don't know if he is or not. But I think that's the type of player. So if I'm and I don't know if Chris is worth this. That's would be a judgment call for Houston. But like, if you're the Saints and you are clearly in rebuild, and Houston says, here's a 2.
They might be trying to get rid of Marshawn. They might be on a fire sale.
I'll ask about a receiver, Cooper Kupp. Does Los Angeles?
They ain't trading him.
No,
they ain't trading him.
They're in now.
They can win the division now.
Yeah.
He was one that if it kept going south.
If they lost, maybe. But
Arizona's atop the division at 4-4. Now they got Nakua back, Kupp back. They're like, let's go win the division, man. Yeah, I don't think so. There's not a whole lot out there, which is why I think if they do swing, they're going to have to swing pretty big and probably have to give something up substantial to be able to do it. Jackets back at it tonight. They're hosting the Isle. That means it can mean one of two things. It's either a guaranteed loss because they win and lose alternating, or it's going to be a win and they're going to score 6 goals. So that's a positive. We'll have a little Shelly time coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
1, 2, 3. The Daily Coach Ryan Day Show is brought to you locally by Credit Union of Ohio and by Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
It's the Daily Show with Coach Ryan Day, brought to you by Safe Flat Auto Glass. I have to ask you about Jordan Hancock, the way he played in a new role and also just coming up with a key play late in the game there.
Yeah, losing Lathan, was not good going into the game. He was a guy who played a lot of football, but when you have an injury, someone's got to step up and play. And then so Jordan moved from nickel to safety, and I thought he handled that really, really well. Graded out a champion, and then had that interception to finish out the game. But to do that in 1 week was good work, and then he played that way.
Okay, we'll have another comment in just a moment.
Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safe Light Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at safelight.com. Safe Light Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End of friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you're planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Now, the officials have been talking for quite some time.
All righty, let's see what they have to say.
Upon further review, there is no penalty on the play. However, we have conferred and discovered that Bob, the line judge, has saved a boatload for his kids' college using Ohio's 529 plan. It is tax-free, accepted nationwide. Bob recommends we all go to collegeadvantage.com. First down.
Well, that's not entirely unexpected.
Classic Bob.
At Ohio State, we are the never afraid to innovate teams, the agile, get it done teams, the achieve more together teams, and the improve people's lives teams. Together, we are the Ohio State University.
Learn more about Ohio State at osu.edu/impact.
Ryan, also have to ask you about guys like Jalen McClain and Edric Houston. Obviously, they had an impact in practice to be able to have the impact in the game that they did.
Yeah, we got to keep getting those guys in games. And Jalen had a really nice play on one of the play action passes. He came down, made the right call, made the play. Edric got a few snaps in there, which is good. Played inside for us. And so, yeah, I mean, we as we get into the second half of the season here, we're going to need these guys to not only make an impact on the game, but help cut down the snaps on some of the older guys.
Okay, this is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
What do football and finances have in common? The team you play with makes a big difference. Credit Union of Ohio is your financial team to help you save and spend like a winner. Whether you're looking to make a big purchase or find ways to build up your savings, you'll always work with a team player at Credit Union of Ohio. Navigate your next big money play easily through Credit Union of Ohio's website at cuofohio.org. That's cuofohio.org. NCUA insured, equal housing lender.
For more than 35 years, Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse has been known by Buckeye Nation as serving the best steaks in the city. Our thick-cut, aged steaks have been a staple in Columbus with 3 locations in Upper Arlington, Dublin, and downtown. Hyde Park is proud to introduce our newly added wine room at the downtown Columbus location, where a new elegance in dining will surround you. And coupled with live entertainment every weekend, Hyde Park will be the perfect setting for any occasion or the perfect night out. Hyde Park is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
We've seen it before. Politicians and lobbyists playing games, drawing voting maps to keep power in their hands, not ours. Courts have ruled Ohio's voting districts unconstitutional 7 times, while our communities have been left out again and again. But this November, you have a chance to change that with Issue 1. Issue 1 will make it illegal for politicians to manipulate voting districts for themselves or their own party. Instead, it creates an open, transparent process where a diverse group of citizens, not politicians, will draw the lines. No more backroom deals, no more gerrymandering, just fairer maps that represent our communities. Issue 1 gives you and me the power to ensure everyone's vote counts. This is about real change, a chance to end the games and make our voices heard. So vote yes on Issue 1, fair representation, and power to the people. Paid for by citizens, not politicians.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Fast, sustainable weight loss without medications. The solution for weight loss. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
The gloves. Shelly time.
Oh, time for a little Shelly time. Jackets back at home. Isle in town tonight, 7 o'clock. Right here on The Fan, of course, with Jody and the fellas on the FanDuel Sports Network. Jody, thank you so much for taking the time, buddy. Before we get into the game tonight, what was your favorite Halloween costume as a kid? What is the one piece of candy you raid from your children? And what is your favorite costume your children have worn?
Oh, okay. So my favorite costume as a kid was when I dressed up as a hockey goalie. Because I don't know, it was just one of those things where
Kenny Dryden
player, so everything was hockey. No, I think I was Andy Moog, Wester, good end, Andy Moog from the Edmonton Oilers.
There you go.
My favorite candy I take from my kids is the coconut. That's a little. Is it a mound?
It's Mounds and Almond Joy. Almond Joy has the almond as well.
Yes. The mounds I like. Those, I don't know. I love those things.
I do too. I'm big coconut.
Unless there's a giant chocolate bar in there, then I always get that one. And then my favorite outfit for my kids. Oh, let me think. When they were both young, they were both dressed up as pumpkins. It was cute. It was adorable. I miss those days when they were young. Because now my son's not even going trick-or-treating at 16, and my daughter's not either because she has a hockey tournament. So it's like, come on.
It's over?
One of the best. It's over. But I'll tell you, one of the best things my wife and I miss about being in the National Hockey League is the Halloween party with the team. Because it was so fun to dress up. Yeah, and we had some great outfits. And we had it's the best team party of the year.
What was you and your wife's best couple's outfit at one of those?
Pam Anderson and Tommy Lee.
Oh, that's great. Do you have visual evidence of this?
No.
No. Oh my
Polaroid,
gosh.
Back in the Polaroid day. Yeah, it was awesome.
That's spectacular.
It was a good night.
Hey,
Yeah.
Speaking of spectacular, every time...
Can I tell you the best costume I've ever heard of?
I would love nothing more.
So the LA Kings had a costume party, and one of the players, I forget his first name, his last name was Green, no one could find him. And then finally, someone went to the bathroom, and there he is, a bathroom attendant with mints and hairspray and cologne and all the things sitting in the bathroom. I think that was, and that's where the party ended up. But yeah, that to me was one of the best.
That is spectacular. Jackets playing at home. I guess this is what we're going to do now. We're just going to score 6 goals every time out. That's just where we're at as an operation here now, pal?
Top second team in the league at 5-on-5 goals, which means they're not relying on just the power play.
Right.
They're not relying on one person. That tells you that this team is bought into the new coaches, and the new guys have come in and fit in well, and the new system is something that seems to be simple and up-tempo, plus they're getting goaltending. So, yeah, it's enjoy it. Enjoy it, because there was times where we were talking about defense was going to be the problem, also goal scoring. Well, it looks like right now they've got both things working really well.
Jody, you brought up the coaching, and I wanted to talk about Dean Everson. We're 8 games in, and this is a guy that's coming in, establishing culture. That could be, people tend to not like change. How have you seen his interactions with his players, and how has he been getting the best of them when they play?
Well, I think what he's done, first of all, is establish the baseline, the boundaries, okay? The second thing he's got going on here is he's slotted players in the right areas. He came in with a clean slate. Kent Johnson, who's injured, is a great example. He wasn't penalty killing barely at all. Maybe it was so brief in his career, but now, I think it was 18 seconds before Dean got here. He was a penalty killer, first unit penalty killer. So that tells you that this coach really gave everyone a clean slate, and he's slotting players where he thinks they need to go. You also have to look at some of there's the timing of these guys. Marchenko seems to be taking a step, a little more mature. Cole Sillinger is now an full-time NHL hockey player that's taken that step and that growth. Go back to Johnson. He's done the same thing. Werenski's a beast. He's healthy. He's driving the play. He enjoys the system. You can tell he enjoys the game. Monahan's a great pickup, number 1 centerman. So with all the injuries, you then look at depth. But when you look at a coach who has – and look at the front office, not just going with young guys from the American Hockey League. They signed Aston Reese, who was on a tryout somewhere else. They signed Kevin LeBanc. So these are NHL guys around 200, 300 games. They already have that pedigree in them. And that's a good combination of front office and Dean. But it just says he believes in what he's doing. He's a clear communicator. And that tells you why they picked it up this quick.
Yeah, they're on their toes. It's fearless. Yeah. It's fun. I wasn't kidding, folks, when I said 6 goals. In the 4 wins, they've scored 6 goals in every game. This is what's happening now. It's crazy what's happening, and it's been a lot of fun. Any changes in the lines tonight? What's going to happen in net tonight? Is it Elvis again? What do you expect
Elvis
to see?
Again.
Okay.
Yeah, Elvis played well. He's back in the net tonight. It's good for Elvis to get that rhythm right. Coming off a good game, maybe get some confidence. Everything looks like it's going to be the same. They're doing a really good job on the penalty kill. I think Jack Johnson's got a big part to do with that, the veteran guy that's approaching 1,200 games in the National Hockey League and the Stanley Cup. And here's another thing. The Islanders are coming in on a second of a back-to-back. They played last night. I think 6 of the first 9 games are that way. We're catching a team on the second of a back-to-back, which don't take away from how they're playing. It's just good to take advantage of those points early and kind of, if you're the coach and you're trying to implement something, you don't really get a stamp on it until you get some wins. And right now they're building tape on things they're doing well. So it's been a really good start to the season.
It really has been. I have people who are working on the Pam and Tommy Lee pick. So I got my best people on it. We're hoping that we can track it down, buddy, because we'll see. We'll see.
Good luck.
Working some back channels.
Nokia. No camera on my old analog Nokia brick phone.
That's true. No camera phones then. Appreciate you, buddy, and hopefully get another one tonight. It's been fun.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
All right, a little bit of Shelly time there on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. They do that in the league? What? Couples like Halloween parties?
Yes. Yes, they do. They have Halloween parties and Christmas parties. Don't you remember Bill Belichick was famous for going to Randy Moss's? Was it Randy Moss?
Got him to go.
Yeah.
They said, you should show up, and then he did.
And he did.
What was your best costume at one of those?
Well, I didn't go because I wasn't a big get dressed up type of guy. I haven't really done that since I was a kid.
You haven't? No.
I haven't dressed up
Even
Halloween.
in college?
No.
Oh my God, you missed out. Huge. That's a target-rich environment.
I'm not the only one. Reeser, look at Reeser. He don't seem like a type of guy that would do something
he's dressing
like that.
up. Halloween in Athens?
Yeah, it was a big deal, man.
Wow.
Like, I didn't take much effort. Like, I put on some shorts and a bright shirt, and I was John Cena. But it doesn't mean I didn't dress up.
Well,
do you have any idea how big of a deal Halloween is at Ohio? In Athens time?
Well, OU is like the biggest party school, so yeah.
No, Halloween down there is.
I feel like
it's a must see.
You know what? Maybe I should just act like I'm 21 and go this year. Go experience it this year.
Here's what I would like. I would like you to, under the BFS umbrella, to take your phones and go. And Reese, I would like you to take Tyvis to Athens for Halloween and show him a good time. And then I would like. Hell, I'll join you. All three of us will go, and just because I've never been down there either, so we'll see what happens when we post that.
The
so
Three
we get you.
Musketeers.
That's right. We'll get you officially endorsed coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on the Fan.
Big voice guy here to remind you that you're listening to the Fan, Ohio sports destination. Okay, thanks. I have 3 more seconds. Bye-bye.
Trust and Will knows that you're likely celebrating a loved one's birthday this month, because fall is the most popular birthday season in America. And Trust and Will celebrates by protecting what matters most. Trust and Will makes estate planning easy and affordable, designed by attorneys but customized by you. Visit trustandwill.com with offer code Columbus for 10% off. That's trustandwill.com, offer code Columbus. Trust and Will is an online service providing legal forms and information. It is not a law firm and is not a substitute for the advice of an attorney.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. I love my Kubota tractor, RTV, and zero-turn I got from Green & Sons, and you can check them out online at greenandsons.com or visit them in store in Mount Sterling or north of Marysville in Raymond for all your Kubota needs.
Skyline is serving up special Halloween ways made with orange noodles this Wednesday and Thursday only. Stop in for Skyline Halloween ways or pick them up and take them home. October 30th and 31st only at participating Skyline restaurants while supplies last.
As Cybersecurity Awareness Month winds down, LifeLock reminds you to update your software regularly. These updates fix security flaws that could be exploited by identity thieves, but don't stop there. LifeLock offers comprehensive identity theft protection that goes the extra mile. LifeLock not only alerts you to suspicious use of your info, but also takes action to resolve identity theft issues, guaranteed, or your money back. Start your 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com. Use promo code NEWS. Terms apply.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Getting ready for more rain and longer nights? We've got you. Right now, you can earn up to $25 in bonus rewards when you buy 2 Sylvania Silver Star Ultra bulbs and 2 Rain-X Quantum Elite wiper blades. More rewards and better visibility at America's #1 lighting destination, AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Offer valid for AutoZone Rewards members. Restrictions apply.
Rise and shine, jabronis.
What a show this morning.
There's only one place where Buckeye legends lay the smackdown. Morning Juice with Bobby and Beamer.
Weekday mornings starting at 6.
Give me a juice box, Beyond.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The time to save big is now. It's Ford Truck Month at your local Ford dealer, and the time to buy is now. Make way for great offers across an amazing lineup of Ford trucks, featuring the built Ford Tough F-150 and Super Duty. Check out the versatile Ford Maverick and the capable Ford Ranger. But you can't wait. These limited truck month deals won't last. Check it all out at buyfordnow.com. Then get over to your local Ford dealer today. Hurry in, as these deals won't last long.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
If you're struggling with ED or your performance is down and your belly fat is growing, listen up.
You've got one life. Now is the time to act.
At the Columbus Men's Clinic, we're not just healthcare, we're your secret weapon. Don't wait another day. Here's why you need to act right now.
Every moment you delay, your condition could worsen. It's not just about sex, it's about your heart, your relationship, your life.
The Columbus Men's Clinic has over 10 years of proven results for low testosterone and increasing drive, energy level, and performance. We've introduced ED and enhancement treatments so exclusive, you'll wonder why you waited.
Procrastination is the thief of time. When it comes to your sexual health, you can't afford to wait. Join the League of Gentlemen who walked out of our doors with a swagger.
Call the Columbus Men's Clinic at 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. Book your $99 male performance consultation now, including blood work. Call 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. The Columbus Men's Clinic, making it happen.
APCO, windows, siding, and decks. Business First says we're the largest remodeler in town. Our philosophy is simple. We don't rely on sales gimmicks to get our customers. We rely on our reputation.
Absolutely, absolutely. You can trust APCO.
APCO.com.
It's almost Football Friday. All play and no work.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football, The Fan. Taking the art of sports radio and day drinking to a whole new level. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, Reese, what do you have on the poll today?
All right, the Daily Fan poll asks, how many points will the Blue Jackets accumulate in their next two games? Tonight against the Islanders, Friday against the Winnipeg Jets. 0 to 1, 2, 3, and 4 are your options. 39% of you out there think they're going to get 2 points from these next two contests.
And where do we sit with the Clowns?
So you asked earlier in the show if Pennywise ruined Clowns. We put that at 971 BFS. 56% say yes, he did.
That's what I think. I think that's with the kids. I think that's a creepy looking dude, man.
I wonder if my daughters are scared of clowns.
They probably have never seen one.
Yeah. But then, I mean, when you watch TV shows, like the clowns is the funny guys on the cartoons and stuff.
Not anymore, buddy.
I gotta go.
There's no clown in Bluey.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. All right. Time for officially endorsed. Hit it.
Bishop and Friends present First Friday. Officially endorsed because everyone deserves 2 Fridays.
You drink for the wrong reasons. My generation, we drink because it's good. Because it feels better than unbuttoning your collar. Because we deserve it. We drink because it's what men do.
All right, we're in the spirit of the season here, so I was trying to think of a cocktail that would have a reddish blood-like hue to it, and I settled on the Belvedere. So here's what you need. You need 1 part Campari, so 1 ounce of Campari, 1 part sweet vermouth, and you need 1.5 ounces of bourbon. You pour that over ice. 2, I like the Luxardo cherries, but those bright red cherries would probably give you an even bigger view. Going to have a reddish hue to it. It's actually a pretty delicious little cocktail as well. That's good enough for your officially endorsed on this fine First Friday. Time for 3 things. Hit it, Reese.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3 things.
Sponsored by Custom Air. Custom Air. Custom Solutions. Custom Comfort.
All right, number 1 for me, it's been well documented. My 12-year-old is dating a girl from another town, and by another town, it's about 12 minutes away, or 12 miles away. And so I said, are you ever going to see this human? It's been well documented. So he comes last day at home, and he goes, Dad, I'm going on a date at the movies on Friday. Oh, you are? Who's taking you? Can you or Mom?
You should have said, are you asking me or are you telling me?
He was telling. He was trying to tell is what he was. So eventually I'm like, all right, look, you need to finally see this human being. And I'm going to, and by the way, I have to make sure it's an actual human being that he's not been catfished. So like now it occurs to me, like, not only is he going to go on a date, hopefully with a 12-year-old girl from a neighboring town, I am going to go on a date with all of them because either me or my wife are going to have to go. So now this is my Friday night. Which brings me back to a bigger point and a bigger wish of mine. I need Uber kids. I need highly trained, skilled drivers driving around in Volvo SUVs, taking kids to and from places. That's what I need.
Well, that factors in trust. That's a trust thing.
That's trust,
you
buddy.
Trust them to be able to do such a thing. Number 1 for me is it's officially my 4-year anniversary, so I want to say happy anniversary to my wife, Laurencia Powell. Thank you for putting up with me for 4 years. We have forever to go. Everybody says that the first 3 years of marriage is the hardest. We are smooth sailing from here, Bo.
That's a lie. First 3 is bliss.
That's what they say. The first 3 is the hardest.
They're lying.
We had 4, so we smooth sailing till forever.
That is a gold medal performance out of the lieutenant, putting up with you for that long.
Yeah.
Happy anniversary to you kids. The NBA fined the Philadelphia 76ers $100,000 for basically violating procedures involving injuries. They investigated the team because Joel Embiid hasn't played this season. Paul George hasn't played this season. Spoiler alert, neither are playing tonight against the Detroit Pistons. But the NBA's investigation showed comments made by Daryl Morey and Nick Nurse were, quote, inconsistent with Joel Embiid's health status and in violation of NBA rules. But $100,000 is nothing.
Yeah, dude, make it $10 million. That'll stop it. I mean, it's got to be something that they feel. Number 2 for me, I think Joe Davis and John Smoltz are doing a hell of a job on the World Series. I think it's a really nice listen. I think their homage and their nods to history have been spectacular. Mm-hmm. A lot of people want to complain about broadcasters and announcers. I think those guys have been amazing.
Number 2 for me, ISO Bronnie. It's been on my mind ever since I woke up this morning. He's going to be out there on the floor. You welcome him properly to the NBA correctly. It's just a part of the game. You have to ISO him and see what he's got.
Do you think there was too much respect for LeBron for Mitchell or Garland to do that?
No.
I could see like a backup. I don't know that you think Mitchell would go at him.
Bo, if you respect the game of basketball, you go right at him. Because we need to know right now if he is or he ain't.
I think we know.
I can't for the life. I think this game tonight between the Cavs and the Lakers is a close one because Lakers are 3-1 and Cavs are a lot of fun. Like, you can't put him in the fourth quarter.
It's going to be in like the first quarter. Like,
you're right.
5
I agree
minutes.
with Tyvus.
Okay,
I think he's right.
It's meaningless.
And if he's in there, then you punish him. Then you absolutely crush him when he's out there.
Yeah, I think he will be. I just saw this. Florida, Georgia is having to be moved out of Jacksonville for 2 years because they're doing the renovations to Everbank Field. So they're going to play one in Tampa and one in Atlanta. I understand the idea because it's always a neutral site game, but I do think it would have been cool for those 2 years to play one of them in Gainesville and one of them in Athens. It's a really cool game. If you get a chance to go to it, it's awesome. But it would have been neat to see that on campus once each, and they had an opportunity, and I think maybe missed it.
Last for me, I hit a parlay the other day, which it came in right at the right time. Now I can use that money to pay for my wife's fancy dinner tonight. So there you go.
Nice.
Rothman and Ice are up next from 12 to 3. Adam Schefter's going to join at 12:33. And they're going to do Hockey and Hounds with Jackets defenseman Damon Severson. That's coming up at 2:33 this afternoon.
And you have that to look forward to, which is very, very nice. Enjoy your first Friday. Act accordingly. We're back tomorrow. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Join Bobby Mack and Jody Shelley for the Inside Edge, a behind-the-scenes look at all things Blue Jackets.
Wednesday night at 7.
Your home for Jackets hockey. The Fan. It's a Fan Action Update.
Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit primesportsbook.com and use the promo code JUSTSPORTS for a welcome bonus of up to $100. Your updated national championship odds: Georgia plus 360 to win it all is the favorite. Ohio State second at plus 425. Oregon right behind them plus 450. Texas 5-1. Penn State is 14-1 to win the national championship. For your Prime Sports Action Update, I'm Scotty Vegas.
Hey folks, Austin Ward here, and we all know consistency is key in sports. Think about it. No matter how many points you put up in one game, it's the team that stays consistent that ends up winning a championship. The problem? Consistency is hard. For years, that's how I felt about my weight. I'd start strong, but could never stay the course. Then I found Awaken 180 weight loss, and now consistency isn't just a word, it's my reality. Let's take a look at the scoreboard. After dropping 12 pounds in my first week, I went on to lose 52 pounds total. Lost weight every week. Since then, the scoreboard has read the same every single month. October, 189 pounds. September, 189 pounds. August, 190. Okay, maybe a pound off. July, 189. The weight just stays off, and for free. Awaken 180 clients don't pay a dime in free maintenance for life. It's like free oil changes for the rest of your life. If you're looking for results that last, Do what we all did and choose the solution for weight loss. It's online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. Join me on Tuesday, November 12th, High Bank in Grandview. We're going to celebrate the release of our exclusive High Bank 97.1 The Fan whiskeys. Each barrel hand-selected by yours truly. Get your tickets today at 971thefan.com, benefiting our friends at the Third and Goal Foundation.
The blood battle is back, and the Buckeyes are the defending two-time champions. Donate blood at a Varsity Blood Drive by November 27th to help Ohio State beat Michigan again. Sign up at varsity.org/blood battle. Buckeyes bleed scarlet and gray.
Common Man here for Jermaine Lexus of Dublin and Easton. If your fall is anything like the people in my neighborhood, your weekends are full of driving kids to endless soccer things. So if you're going to be on the road, be as comfortable as possible. 4 out of 5 doctors recommend a new Lexus. That's not true, but I recommend it. Deal time, 2.99% finance rate on a 2024 RX. That's madness. 4.49% finance rate for a 2025 NX. And you can get up to $5,000 lease cash for a 2024 RX. Check them out online, JermaineLexus.com.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Attention football fans, the season's heating up, and that means it's time for jaw-dropping plays, spectacular touchdowns, and memories that'll last a lifetime. So if you're looking to grab the best seats for all the excitement, Vivid Seats is your go-to playmaker. With an incredible selection of tickets and a game-changing rewards program, Vivid Seats is your ticket to every thrilling moment. Don't miss out. Experience it live with Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
There was a time where I woke up every day and my knee kept bothering me. I wondered, would it ever get better? I'd like to go out and run. I'd like to go play golf. I'd like to hang out with my friends at the pool, go off the diving board, play with my kids, do the stuff that I wanted to do. I looked at having surgery, thought that's not the answer. Don't want to do that. I've had plenty of surgeries in my life. I didn't want to be on medication and just keep pounding ibuprofen and pain pills. That wasn't going to be the answer. So I want to get real, lasting relief. As thousands of patients will tell you. So I went over to QC Kinetics and talked to Dr. Ray Tesner. I even brought my dad with me and said, hey, he's got a bad knee too. He's at a little later stage in life. Could this work for him? QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in cellular therapies, including your own body's healing properties. That's what I wanted, to get healed up and do it the natural way. The choice is yours. So go check them out at qckinetics.com/Columbus. They've got offices in Dublin and in Gehenna, or call 380-208-4540.